West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast. West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.
Yes. Welcome back to another. I'll say another. I haven't done one of these in ages. Didn't do one last week. Can't remember the last time Is this the first one of the new year? Did I do one? Boy, I don't even know. When did I last do this? I think this might be the first one of the year, you know. I definitely didn't do one last week because I couldn't be bothered. Welcome to 2025 then, people. If I didn't do one last week, this is the first one of 2025. Welcome back to the Monday Night MashUp, the live call-in show, Caribbean Cricket Podcast. I'm on half of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, Machel St. Patrick Hewitt. And you done know already. Let's get some admin out of the way. Like, share, subscribe. Follow us on all the social media handles: Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, X, Discord, Patreon. We're everywhere. Follow us on all of those. Subscribe to that. Our Instagram's gone up recently, you know. We've only really properly started doing Instagram properly. So we used to, for the longest while, we didn't really have that many people that follow us on Instagram, but the numbers I've started doing some collabs and stuff with different people. I think that's one of the things you're going to start seeing us do as well in 2025. We're going to do lots more collabs. And since I started doing some collabs in 2025, the numbers have gone up. I guess people from other shows have seen what we do. They must have said, these guys are interesting. Let me go subscribe to their thing. So big up anyone who's subscribed on Instagram recently. Every day I go over there, the numbers keep going up. So big up everyone on that front. If Instagram is your thing. Cricket Forum wants to do a collab. Has he told his followers yet? So let me tell you the story about Cricket Forum. So, like, I got a message in the Discord group saying, "Oh, Mash, have you seen that Cricket Forum's called you out?" I had no idea what people were talking about because I don't watch, do I? And they were like, yeah, it's called you out. Look at this. And I clicked the link, and Cricket Forum was saying something along the lines of, there's another podcast that has been saying that they agree with the two-tier system and they're talking foolishness, and I want to debate them. And I'm going to mash them up. That's what Cricket Forum said. Cricket Forum says he's going to mash me up, you know. Man said he's going to mash me up. Oh, boy. Listen. So I got a message. I got a message from I can't remember his name, and he sent me a message saying, "Listen, do you want to come on Cricket Forum?" So it's not the main guy on Cricket Forum. What's his name again? What's the main guy on Cricket Forum's name? Is it Carlos or something? Anyways, one of the other guys on it sent me a message and said, "Can you come on Cricket Forum this weekend?" Then they wanted me to come on Sunday, but I couldn't go because, for those of you who know, I support Bromley Football Club. And on Sunday, Bromley were in the FA Cup third round against Newcastle United. So I had travelled up to Newcastle on the weekend to watch Bromley in the FA Cup third round. For anyone who paid attention to that, we scored first. Bromley went 1-0 up. Bromley went 1-0 up in the 8th minute of the match against big Newcastle United, you know. It was 1-1 at half time. For 45 minutes, we held the most informed team in the country to a 1-1 draw. You lot support some of you in this chat support big teams like Manchester United. You can't even score against Newcastle. Big teams like Arsenal. Newcastle just dupped Arsenal 2-0. But my side, Bromley, went to Newcastle and took the lead in Newcastle's own ground. 1-1 at half time, you know. We were dreaming. We were dreaming of the biggest cup upset since David and Goliath. We were dreaming. Anyways, we lost 3-1. So that's why I wasn't on Cricket Forum show this weekend. I said to him, "Nah, man, I'm watching football." But I'm back now. So look out for that. So I may well go on Cricket Forum to get mashed up and see. So yeah, that's that. So what we got to talk about? What have we got to talk about? What's going on right now? Obviously, West Indies are in Pakistan. There's loads of down bad T20 tournaments going on. The Bangladesh Premier League is still match fixing. SA20, I think, is going on. I think the ILT20 is going on. The Pakistan Super League just had a draft. The teams have started to announce their squads or the squads for the first round of the West Indies Championship. Barbados have released their squad. Jamaica have rumoured what their squad is. So teams are starting to say who's in their squads for the West Indies Championship. And West Indies' first test against Pakistan begins on Friday. So there's quite a lot going on. I recorded a video earlier on, actually, with a Pakistan podcast called Backward Point. Don't know if any of you know that one. They're quite big, to be fair. They do quite a lot of stuff for PSL and stuff. So look out for that. That's coming out soon. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. If you want a CCP beanie, they're available for sale. Go get one of them. Cold snap, whether you're if you're in the States or Canada, or any cold European country, get your CCP beanies. They're for sale at the moment as well, so they're available. I should probably put one on for this episode. I'll do that in a minute. So yeah, lots and lots of stuff to talk about if needed. It's 10:30. Oh yeah, that's also Darren Sammy's there to be talking. Oh yeah, because it's the first show of 2025, so there's loads of stuff we haven't spoken about. Darren Sammy's the head coach. West Indies, rumors are out that ICC want to change it to a two-tier test format going forward. We could talk about that. There's loads of things to talk about, to be fair. But the thing is, you lot love to chat too much, and I want to be in bed before 11:30, so this show can only run for an hour. Got to go to bed before that. Wait, Ben said it's already up. Nah, Ben, this one is with Backward Point. Surely it can't be up already. I only finished recording that about an hour and a half ago. Nah, you must mean the other one I did for Gully Cricket, the Gully Cricket show. The one I'm talking about is Backward Point. I swear they couldn't have put it up already. Yeah, Shea Hope scored a century in the no fans one. Like I just we could talk about T20. Like the thing is, am I an uncle? I mean, I am an uncle. I'm an uncle for sure. But you see these T20 competitions, like when all the West Indies players are in them, who's watching them? Like from West Indies wise, who's watching them? Like I get it. Shea scored a century. I don't care. I don't care. Like you could never get me to care. I barely care when they do it in CPL. So why am I gonna care if they do it anywhere else? Like I literally don't care. Shea was just playing in the Big Bash one, right? For I don't know, 6 games or something. Now and this ain't Shea's fault. Now he's run to the ILT 21 because obviously that pays more money. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't even know who plays for all these teams. They've just done PSL draft. I don't care either about that. Like, don't get me wrong. If you're somebody from those countries, I get why you care. I get why somebody in Pakistan cares about who's playing for their franchise. I get why some people in the Caribbean care about who's playing for their country. But maybe it's because I'm based in the UK. I don't care. I really like 2025 is the year when I don't go out of my way to even watch any T20 cricket. Unless I'm getting paid, I'm not watching any T20 cricket club-wise. Like BPL, BPL just announced that they've signed Miguel Cummins, right? How old's Miguel Cummins, right? So 1 second. Miguel Cummins might be older than me. Let me check. How old's Miguel Cummins? He's only 34. Didn't even know, you know. Actually, that's a disrespect thing. So I didn't even realize Miguel Cummins was still that's young. But anyways, BPL just signed Miguel Cummins, right? Some of you may not even remember who Miguel Cummins is. But that's I'm not trying to say that Miguel Cummins was never good. Like Miguel Cummins was serviceable, but how has he got? And I'm not against him getting the Bangladesh Premier League deal. That's not my point. But how did he get one? How did he get one? Where has he been to suddenly get a BPL deal? Like, good for him. He gets to eat a nice big food. But where was he to suddenly get a BPL deal? And this doesn't help. This doesn't help like the allegations. This really doesn't help the allegations. There's nothing against Miguel Cummins, but it doesn't help the allegations that people have about these T20 leagues. He's not even in CPL, and that's our domestic league. Bear Man saying in the comments, who's Miguel Cummins? So if Bear Man are saying who's Miguel Cummins, you should know, by the way, like if you know your West Indies cricket history. I'm not saying he never tore up any trees, but he did play for the West Indies. But if Bear Man are saying who's Miguel Cummins, then how's Miguel Cummins getting a BPL deal? I can get a BPL deal then. I can get one. I run a podcast, so why don't BPL give me a deal? Like I don't. Is BPL even? I didn't even know BPL was still going on. Like cricket, boy, cricket. There's about 1,000 Dream 11 T10s going on as well. I think Barbados has got a Dream 11 T10 going on. Jamaica's got their down bad Dream 11 T10. Trinidad has about 17 Dream 11 T10s every year. Like, what is all this, man? Man have to eat a food. Like, man have to eat a food. But what is all this stuff? What is all this? You lot know, right? You lot know that it's corrupt, right? You must know this is corrupt. You have to know. You see, whenever I see like a Dream 11 T10 going on, listen, I'm about to get this podcast cancelled. This is why Caribbean Cricket Podcast will never go mainstream, because I'm about to get cancelled for what I'm about to say. The Dream 11 T10 stuff that goes on in the Caribbean, whether it's in Antigua, whether it's in Barbados, whether it's in Trinidad, whether it's in Jamaica, all of that stuff is corrupt. All of it. I think the whole thing is suspect, because who is monitoring that? What's to stop a down bad Indian bookmaker through intermediates getting through to the domestic players in any of those countries and saying, well, boy, just do a little thing, because no one's regulating it. No one's regulating it. So when you lot are watching this stuff and you're not questioning anything, you're watching it like it's legit cricket you're watching. You know this stuff is corrupt, right? You know it's corrupt. And no one can say to me, "Oh, Mash, you better not say that." I haven't said anything. I haven't said anything. I've not named no players. I've not named no entities. What I am saying is very clear. There is no regulation of these Dream 11 T10 things. So it is prime for corruption. Prime. No one ain't watching nothing in the ground. It's all on them. What's that thing called? That app that all the Indian fans watch it on. Not FOP Mob. What's it called? What's that app they use? Oh, I can't even remember what it's Fan Mop or something. I don't even know what the app is called, right? But come on, man. Come on. Fan Code. I think it's called Fan Code. Like, the only people watching these things, no one in Trinidad ain't watching no Dream 11 T10. No one in Jamaica ain't coming out of their bed to watch Dream 11 T10. But Bear Man are watching it on Fan Code. For what reason? For what reason? You can be a cricket tragic, right? And you can say, oh, I love the only people who would want to watch Dream 11 T10 outside of the Caribbean are betting man. And from when you have betting man, that means you have suspicious man trying to influence results. I can't wait. I can't wait till this whole expose happens, because it's going to happen. The big expose on cricket and corruption and match fixing and spot fixing and gambling, it's gonna come. And when it comes, I'm gonna be on the front line saying to everybody, but I was saying it from day one. I was out on the front line saying it from day one. I'm going to be the first person to stand up loud and proud and say, what, you lot thought it was real? Do you not remember me telling you from time ago what was going on? Come on, man. Come on, man. And this is why when you lot are watching this stuff and commenting on it and taking it super serious, I'm thinking, what are you doing, though? Are you a mug? Are you a mug? They're mugging you off. They're absolutely pulling your pants down and mugging you off. Can't take this shit serious. No way. No way. Absolutely no way. I don't blame the players, though. I don't blame the players. If the ones who are doing it, if you can get away with it, do it then. Do it then. And do it for as long as you can, because nobody ain't trying to stop you. So do it then. So I don't blame the players. I blame the people who know exactly what's going on, who are turning a blind eye to it because it suits whatever it's suiting right now. Watch how everyone washes their hands, though, when it all comes out. Come on, no. And the thing is, I'm not stupid. Of course, it must happen in international cricket as well, but I just think it's less likely. Certainly at the top tier of international cricket, I think it's less likely. Yes, of course, for those of you who are old enough, you'll remember the Hansi Cronje stuff, and it's like, and I'm sure I nearly said something reckless there. I paused. I stopped myself just quickly. Right? IPL had match fixing. Come on, Sri Santh and them, man. The whole of the Chennai Super Kings organization basically was exposed as match fixing. So if it was happening in big IPL, why would you assume it's not happening in Dream 11 T10? So this is why when people say to me, "Oh, did you see this latest performance in one of them down bad T20 leagues?" I just stoops and just keep it moving. I'm not watching that stuff. I'm not watching it. Stephen Roach says, "I hear what you're saying, Mash, but you must provide the evidence. You are like them. You are like them white men who say all black men are criminals." Well, that's a bit explosive, Stephen. It's an interesting analogy to use. I think that's a wrong analogy to use. I think, Stephen, you need to look at the reality of I think you need to look at the reality of what you're watching and ask yourself some questions. This isn't about, and the analogy you're using is crazy, but this is about basic. This is about basic. Just look, watch, open your eyes, do this. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. That's all you have to do. It's not that hard, people. Question everything. Question everything. The thing is, some people be like, Mash, why did you put that comment up on the screen? I had to, because I had to expose, man. Like, you think you're going to make that comment and I'm just going to leave it just floating in the chat? It was loud and proud enough to write it in the chat, so I'm going to put it up on the screen, yes? Now you lot can go and drag him. Drag him, yes? Anyways, let's get moving, I guess. Let's get moving. Is Stephen still in the chat? Stephen, after that comment, did you stick around in the chat, or did you disappear? Because you now need to defend yourself with chess. Defend yourself with chess, Stephen. Man said January the 13th. Let me start a race riot. Man said race war on January the 13th, you know. we hadn't even got out of January, and Stephen want to start a race riot, cuz. Right. Okay. Yes. Oh, God. Boy. Cricket Forum's gonna mash me up, you know. Man said he's gonna mash me up. All because I said that West Indies belong in tier 2. Our man got upset, said he's gonna mash me up. Imagine. The thing is, all I want to know is Cricket Forum wanting to mash me up for the clout of being like, right, I did something. Because Santoki, I sent the link to Santoki and I said, boy, Santoki, Cricket Forum's gonna mash us up. And Santoki said, Mash, be careful because people are going to use Caribbean Cricket Podcast for clout, and try and get notoriety of engaging with us. I don't know about that. That's Santoki's take on it. I don't know about that. Man challenged me to a duel still, so if a man says he's going to mash me up, then I have to show up, innit? I have to show up. I can't hide from a man telling me he's going to mash me up. So I got to show up for the duel. So right, okay. Let's get some people on the show. Oh yeah, I just seen that Shane's backstage, you know. Oh God, I just deep in who's backstage. Nah, Shane can't come on. Last time Shane came on, he mobilized every uncle in the whole Caribbean. He can't come on. Nah, allow it. Allow it. Right, okay, let me bring on Javandi. Right. Javandi, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I mean, you can expect to go sleep all tonight, because
Say
if you're
again?
there ranting, what up? I'm saying you can't expect to go sleep all tonight because you're there
Nah.
ranting for half an hour. You
No,
came late.
I've done my
I ran for half
monologue.
an hour.
Let's see though. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But I'm with you as well. I don't really watch these done but T20 leagues. Like, for me, it's test cricket. I could sit down and watch 5 days of test cricket. That's my bread and butter. Watch test cricket. And one day, now and then, right? But I'm not into these 2020 leagues, you know? I mean, I want our players to eat food, like you said, make runs
Yeah.
for their own personal benefit. But it don't really bother me if they perform or not, to be honest. You know?
Yeah, that's basically my take on it. I won't go out of my way to watch any of it, but I'm not against any of the players making money off it. I just don't care personally to go and watch it. If it's not West Indies related, I'm just not interested.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So I have 2 topics I want to talk about. Well, the hot topic right now. The hot topic right now is the 2-tier system. Well, it's my personal view on it. I'm in agreement with it if there is promotion and regulation, or regulated or regulation, right? So you have a chance to go to top tier and you have a chance to go to the lower tier, right? So it rewards the best playing nation in lower tier to go. Because if there's no reward system, what's the point of playing test cricket in the lower tier? So,
right. So just yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'm with you. Sorry. Carry on.
Right. So, and also it penalizes those top teams or so-called top teams for not performing within a calendar year or 2 years. So I don't care if you're England or Australia. If you had a bad 2 years, you should be done in second tier. That's
okay. Let's pause there though.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you, but there is no way that
And
India, Australia, and England would agree to any system that allows them to get relegated. So what we have to ask ourselves is if they did it. So the Backward Point podcast I'm talking about, the Pakistani one that I just did earlier today, we spoke about this. It comes out tomorrow. But what we have to work out is what does a system look like where Australia, England, and India basically keep their spots, but everyone else goes up and down. Is that acceptable? Yes or no?
For me, no. Cricket should be fair across the board. And even same thing with the distribution of funds. That should be fair across the board. No team should be getting extraordinary money more than another team, because the general product will never be will never be suitable for the fans in essence, because you want him to always be superior than your another team. So, for example, Ireland will never improve enough because they not receive enough funding to help the cricket develop.
Yeah, I agree. So here's the thing though, and this is what I think actually needs to happen for tiered cricket. If that is the way they want it to go, like I say, I think Santoki and I, when we discussed it, we believe that this was leaked to the media so that they could gauge how people would react to it, and then if the reaction is negative, will never see the light of day. If they feel kind of like the European Super League with football, if they feel they can get away with it, then they'll go full steam ahead. But one of the best things that could possibly happen to cricket this year is if South Africa win the World Test Championship. And the reason I say that is because nothing will give a better argument to Australia, India, and England that they're not the only ones that matter is by another team winning. Now, here's the problem, though, is if South Africa win, I suspect that they'll use it to turn around and say, well, we're a top-tier side, bun everybody else. But that's the only way I see England, Australia, and India accepting that there's more to cricket than just them. And also, the other thing that we have to consider is that if tiered cricket was to happen, and let's just say promotion, relegation, whatever, right? There are certain iconic series that would have to remain. So for example, it doesn't matter if England and West Indies are in different tiers, that has to remain because England fans still love traveling to the Caribbean. England fans wouldn't want to lose the opportunity to travel to the Caribbean just so they can play Australia and India all the time. So they're going to have to find some kind of unique way for this to work, because the only thing I will defend West Indies on, we deserve to be in tier 2 because we're useless, but we do still mash up England every time they come to the Caribbean. So my argument is, if we're going to be in tier 2, then England should be in tier 2 with us, because until they can learn to beat us in the Caribbean on a regular basis, how are they in tier 1? Everyone else manages to beat us in the Caribbean except them. So they must be rubbish as well. So I want to see what their justification for all of this is, or sorry, how they justify tiering the sides.
Right. Okay, that's fair point. I mean, see the way position on it from what I've read. Then they need more information to comment if it's good or bad. That's what I heard from the media. That basically their position on it. So see the way I have to really give a defined position of where they stand right now, right? So that's what I've heard.
I suspect that they're waiting to see where the dominoes kind of fall on this before they say anything too tough. But the thing is, if they don't take a line on it, other teams will take the line for them.
Right.
Do you see what I mean? So there's pros and cons of waiting and obviously stating what your opinion is. So, for example, if Kishore Shallow came out, or Chris Deering, who's the new CEO, came out and said, bun tier cricket, West Indies have given more to cricket than all the rest of the teams put together, then at least the position is already clear. But I presume, as a West Indies organisation, we can't say anything because everyone's shook of India. So I presume that they can't say anything.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair point. Fair point. Well, the next topic I want to talk about is, obviously, the test match will coming up on Friday, right? So I was thinking about the best 11 that we should put out there to compete, because I'm a very look for. I'm very hopeful that Qalis win a match in Pakistan. Like
in Pakistan.
It's free. So let me see. Yeah, I'm saying, right. I'm hopeful that we can actually win a match in Pakistan.
Okay, talk to me about the 11 you've got.
Right. So obviously we have no choice. So Craig Brackett and Louis will open. Right. I have Alec batting number 3.
Okay.
Right. So no Kati. unfortunately for him.
Okay, I can see where you're already going to go with this. Carry on.
Right. I have Hodge, batter number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I have Django, batter number 5. Right. Because
Okay.
I'll be really impressed with him.
Okay.
Django, batter number 5. I'll be really impressed with him. He have shown good temperament and his technique look solid to me, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Okay.
say number 5 plus because we play Pakistan as well, and he has shown the potential of playing spin.
Mm-hmm.
I have number 5. They have Justin Graves, number 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't have a man who score 100 yearly.
Yeah, he's here. Yeah, that's a
So
no-brainer.
no, yeah, Justin Graves number 6. Persisting with just the silver, but he's on a tightrope with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm persisting for him for now because I have a lot of stock in Justin. He has the silver because he have really well. I have a lot of stock in him because I've seen potential with him, so I keep him at number 7. Number 8 now. This was the head scratcher. Because should I play Sinclair or play Warrican? To me, this was my this is what I would contemplate with the bowling lab.
Well, let me tell
So
you
I was
something. What Warrican's playing before you even pick. Warrican plays before Multi plays. So your question you should be asking yourself is it Sinclair or Multi? Warrican's not. Warrican's the incumbent. He outbowled Multi. Remember, so Warrican's playing.
I know, but I have different view on that. For me, Multi is my number one spinner in all formats because he has shown quality over a long period of time that Warrican.
Okay.
I know Warrican had a good series. It's South Africa was not, but for me, because Multi have shown longer form, integrate, longer potential, longer talent. Just you do it for a long period of time, basically.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I promote your work on. I mean, that's why I say this was for me was a challenge. Choose between the 3 spinners, but
Yeah.
I'm going with Sinclair because I really want Sinclair, right? Because I'm not a fan of playing 2 left-hand spinners. He needs a variety. So I go Sinclair for variety, and also he can bat as well. Believe it or not, we're not in a position where we could say we need to play four outright bowlers. We're not in a position as yet. We have
So you've got Sinclair, Multi
at 8, Sinclair 8,
yeah.
Multi at 9,
Yeah.
and obviously Seals and Kemar Roach as the fast bowlers.
Okay, so check this out.
Yeah.
Based on how Pakistan are setting up that pitch in Multan, they aren't going to be playing. They're not expecting any of their quicks to be bowling significantly in the test. There is an argument to say you only play one of Reach and you only play one of Seals and Roach. And as ridiculous as it sounds, you might end up with a fast bowling attack that looks like Jaden Seals and Justin Graves, and that's it. Because Pakistan's plan will be to go back and look at Pakistan versus England, which is what they're going to try and replicate. And I think someone showed me a stat. It was something ridiculous, like from the second test onwards, or maybe it was the first, 90% of the balls bowled were by spinners. So we might not actually need to go in with 2 seamers. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I hear you, but I see it as well. Okay, our strength in that, I mean, the pitch will provide assistance to our spinners, but that's not really our strength, to be honest. Like, do we have 3 quality spinners that will say, okay, they can pull up 20 wickets for us? Do you agree that we have 3? I don't think we do, to be honest. I think our fast bowlers, Seals and Roach, will give us a better chance. Even though it is a spinning pitch, they with their skill will give a better chance than actually playing 3 spinners. That's my opinion on that. To play to our strength. So we can't follow Pakistan because they prepare a spinning pitch. If that's not our strength, or we do have 3 spinners that for sure we know that yes, we give us 20 wickets. So that's my thought on that aspect of it. We don't playing 3 spinners. I'm not ready to see as yet, to be honest.
Okay, I mean, well, we'll see. I'm going to record something tomorrow, looking at the makeup of the team. But what I will agree with you on is that Django is in form, and because Django's in form, you should really try and find a way for him to get into the team. But it's a weird comment I'm going to make, but we're spoilt for choice. But that don't mean the choice is good. I don't say the choice is good, but we're spoilt for options. I don't know if the options are good per se, but we have more options than we realize about how we construct the side. And what the think tank should be thinking is what is the best side for this particular pitch, rather than who deserves to be playing because of something they did in the last test match. That's what they should actually be doing. But I don't think West Indies work like that. So we have to see. But anyways, listen, Jamandi, I'm going to have to move on because I just read there's about 10 people who reckon they're coming on today. And if I'm going to get to my bed, I'm going to have to let them all come on.
Okay, thanks, Mash.
All right. No
Enjoy
problem.
them, man.
No problems.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone saw, by the way. So Stephen Roach, if you're still watching, I banned you. Not because of the earlier comment you made when you were trying to start a race war. But as Jamandi was talking, I saw you put up a comment which was highly inappropriate. Highly, I don't know if I'm not even sure if anybody else in the chat saw it, but I saw it come up, and I'm sorry, no. As for all the jokes and stuff that we do on Caribbean Cricket Podcast, and I'm not for like banning people and denying them their chance to talk and stuff, but that comment was down horrendous. So if you're I think if you're banned, you can still watch. I don't know if it works like that on YouTube, but if you're still watching, cool. But you can't make comments like that, man. You can't make comments like that. It's bang out of order. I don't think anyone can wheel it back and even see it, because on my screen it says that I've banned and removed all your comments. You're down horrible. You're down horrible. In fact, furthermore, for that comment, I'm going to say this: you are a bad human being. You're a bad human being. Go church or whatever holy building of anything you believe in and go ask for a spiritual cleansing. You're a bad human being. You think I didn't see it? Anyways, let me move on. Right. Let me move on to Fireball. Right. Yes, Fireball, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Did you're an administrator, did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. It's it's a out of order comment. I'm like,
yeah.
You banned them with the quickness, because I was
Yeah, it had to. Because I didn't know if you had seen it, so I was like, let me ban this before anybody else sees it. So I couldn't wait to see if you saw it or not, or Neeks if he's around. So that's why I did it. But anyways, we move, man. We move. What are you saying, Bible?
Not much. I'm just here to mention about people comparing how Test cricket, how cricket in general is set up to the Super League. I'm like, it's worse. It's much worse, because football, even with the Super League, is modern, right? If the Super League moved like the way cricket moved, teams like Celtic would be in the Super League. Teams like Hamburg, teams like PSV and Ajax and Nottingham Forest and Red Star Belgrade. That's how backwards cricket is. Well, they did something in the 1960s. Hamburg beat Real Madrid 5-1 in 1980s. Who cares? Any normal sport, we move on.
Right.
Hamburg in Bundesliga 2. Who cares? They beat Real Madrid 5-1 in European Cup. Who cares? And this is for me to say that teams like West Indies needs to stop holding on to the history and think they're above teams like Bangladesh or Sri Lanka, who had to win a World Cup to get full member status, basically, to get treated, to get in the big boy stable. Had to earn it.
So hold on. Pause there just for a second. As things stand right now, because I want to see what you say, because people are going to cuss. Where are in your mind? We're just talking tests. Who are West Indies better than? Just talk full. We'll just talk full members for now. Because I've got an answer. So it's gone.
Ireland and Zimbabwe, and I'll have a caveat there. Afghanistan, Zimbabwe, and Ireland don't play that much tests.
Right.
If they played the same amount of tests we did, I wouldn't have an answer. I don't have an answer.
So I think we're just better than Zimbabwe and Ireland. I'm not convinced that we could beat Afghanistan away.
Yeah, Afghanistan would be tough.
Bangladesh just came to our ends and drew with us, so clearly we're not better than them. So I actually think that I don't think we're better. I think we're better than Zimbabwe. I think we're better than Ireland. Afghanistan and Bangladesh, let's just say that we're on level. We're level with Bangladesh and Afghanistan. Because Afghanistan don't play enough, we don't even know, but I'm going to say we're level.
Yeah.
Sri Lanka are better than us. Pakistan, well, we're about to see, but I assume they're better than us. Yeah. And this is my point. So again, not to make another reference, but then to make a reference exactly to about Backward Point, the podcast, Pakistan podcast I recorded with earlier today. I made a comment on there, which I'm now going to repeat, which in some parts of West Indies cricket is considered sacrilege to say. Ready?
Yeah.
I'm about to tank Caribbean Cricket Podcast again with this statement. Right, listen. And I want people can send this to whoever they want to send it to, and people can say they'll never come on the podcast again because of it. Listen very carefully. There is nothing that we can learn from people who played in the 80s. We can't learn nothing from them. Nothing. Cricket's moved on. Moved on. I don't care what. I respect them all. I respect everybody who trailblazed for us and put us out on the world scene and made us proud to be West Indian. But we can't learn anything from that era anymore. It's done. It's dusty. It's dusty. Okay? The things when we were good, I was still shitting up myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was wearing nappies and shitting up myself. We can't learn anything anymore. And this is why I blame the uncles. And when I say uncles, I mean my uncles. I blame the uncles for not moving on. They're still caught in a mindset that still plagues their head. Like, I saw the West Indies when they were good, and therefore until we do this and until we do that, those days are finished. They're absolutely finished. There is nothing that we can learn from the old days that is relevant to 2025. Nothing. And until West Indies as an entity, from grassroots cricket to the top of West Indies cricket and in every territory, until we accept that time has moved on, we're going to forever be just stuck in this mindset of, but why don't we do this and why don't we do that? Our starting point, Fireball, should be that we are Ireland and we need to try build our cricket up.
I agree. We have been coasting on a big name for far too long. And most modern sports will allow you to do that for a while. But after a certain time, you're gonna get kicked out the kids table. Ajax have more European Cups than Manchester United. Do you think Ajax go to UEFA and say, "Hey, I want a Champions League spot"?
Yeah.
Same thing with Celtic. Celtic, the first British European champions. They can say, "Nah, take out Arsenal. We actually won the European Cup." Only cricket moves like this. Only cricket moves like living in the past like this.
But I think that's because cricket's colonial.
Yeah.
I think it's because cricket has a colonial origin. The mindset of too many people, particularly the older element, is colonial. So they approach the way they communicate about cricket is colonial. So, and that's why I always talk about like the yes massa aspect of cricket. That's why I maintain that's what caused the split between the players and the board. From like 2000 onwards, or whatever year people want to take as their starting point. Obviously, Packer cricket as well. This generation of players are not going to do yes, massa. They don't care who you be. In fact, they got more money than you. So that colonial mindset needs to change.
It's fine. It's fine. That's the nature of cricket. It was a rich white posh Tory club. It still is in England, most likely. And it's still England most part. Still in Australia, still in South Africa. Look at the South African team. Barely there's any black men in it. That's by design. West Indies is an outlier. It's a bit of an outlier when it comes to the makeup of the team, but we still have the same colonial mindset. We've been good in the bygone era, so we deserve to have this spot ad infinitum. Unless you, and hell, I can't even say it because South Africa didn't lose their test stars. We don't want to force them playing them. You could be misogynistic. You could hate black people. You could have apartheid. You could still be tested. You could still be full member nations forever. Zimbabwe had their back and now they're still full member nations. It's very extremely difficult to lose your full member staff, which is silly to me. Very silly to me. Watching any other sport, even American sports, people make fun of American sports. But if you don't meet certain criteria, you end up going down the USL, you're going down the spring football leagues. If you don't meet certain, if your owners don't meet certain criteria, you don't be NFL forever.
But you know what, though? Do you know what? For all the people naysaying about it and saying, "Oh, it shouldn't be this, it shouldn't be that," football's managed to evolve, right? So football has recently introduced has recently introduced the Nations League in Europe and in CONCACAF. So obviously for the Caribbean audience, we talk about CONCACAF Nations League. So everybody accepts, let's use CONCACAF because we're talking about West Indies. Everybody accepts that somebody like Dominica or the British Virgin Islands or Barbados, all the rubbish football teams in the Caribbean, they all accept that, well, boy, we're rubbish, we have to work our way through the Nations League system, right? Ain't nobody complaining about that because they understand that if your football's rubbish, you have to be in Group C or League C to get into League B, to maybe find yourself into a Gold Cup qualifier to get into League A. And everyone accepts that if you're down bad, you get relegated. Once upon a time, Trinidad were in League B. I think they've recently got themselves back up into League A again. And everyone accepts that's how it should work in football.
Yeah. So
why should it not work like that in cricket? What makes cricket so special that people don't feel like they can't get punished for continual bad performance?
Like Jared Kimber said in this video, you shouldn't have test status forever. If you're terrible at test cricket and you're going down the ladder, you should have to go 40 and play with Uganda and them men to qualify again for test status. Like any normal sport works. Even a semi-closed system, okay, your team is beating these teams consistently, you're financially stable, we'll let you back in. Even that I'm willing to accept. Like MLS, like NFL.
Well, boy. Well, you might as well go on Cricket Forum and have that conversation because he's going to mash you up.
I had too little patience for Cricket Forum. I'll tell him about things I shouldn't tell him about. All right, Mash. I won't leave you on any longer.
No, all right, no worries. I'm going to go to how many callers left? Shane, you're up next. All right, yeah, cool. Anyway, Shane's about to come on. So everything that I've said, which people will find offensive, I'm sure Shane's about to do it worse. so I'm about to get a reprieve. Right, okay. Fireball, I'll see you soon, yeah?
Yeah, man.
All right, no worries. All right, people. Before I bring Shane on, I should big up. I always do it whenever Shane does come on. So people, if you like boxing, if you like heavyweight boxing, well, just boxing. I'm not saying heavyweight boxing. If you like boxing, go and watch Shane's stuff. You can find him on Nick J. Francis on YouTube. If you're a big boxing fan, Shane is your guy. I'm no capping people. I'm being serious. Anything boxing wise, you have to go listen to Shane, from your Canelos to your Crawfords to your. Well, Tyson Fury's just announced his retirement, so Shane must be doing a video on that soon as well, to be fair, if he's even actually retired. So so I had to give Shane his plugs and his flowers before he came on, people. So all boxing fans, head to that channel and go subscribe to their thing, people. Run up the numbers on their stuff. Let me bring Shane on. Yeah, Shane, how you doing?
Love for that, bro. Love for the plugging as well. But yeah, nah, it's mad. I literally was just on a stream before I done this one. Like, this is back to back. But I saw you live. I was already in stream. I was like, let me quickly jump on. But it's mad. Your fan base is different, bro. I've been on platforms, that's got more subscribers. Your fan base is big, bro. You see the last time I came on, you know how much DMs that I got, bro, after that? I didn't even know uncles knew how to use Instagram, bro. It was mad.
Listen, one guy messaged me. One guy messaged me. I can't remember who it was, and he said, "Send me the address of that boy Shane. He's disrespectful." He said, "Run me the Instagram at right now."
Yeah, bro. It's mad. In the comment section of one of the videos, the guy was like, "Oh, run me Shane's at," and you sent it. I was like, "Yeah, that's sick. You're sick for that." No, but obviously, it is what, isn't it? I come from. It's fun, isn't it? For me, like, genuinely speaking, like, everybody's entitled to their opinion. You know what I'm saying? So, as long as it's, as you said, as long as it's not disrespectful in like a personal way, then it is what it is. But what I really wanted to talk about, is there's literally quick things. 'Cause I'm in the same position as you, bro. It's mad late. So it's quick things. One, this whole two-tier thing. For me, I'll be so honest. I don't understand why everybody's so upset, bruv. Like, I'll be so real. I get it if there's no relegation and promotion. And if there is relegation and promotion, that's all the better. But for the last, let's say, 2 or 3 years, we've been playing purposeless cricket anyway. What have we been playing for? Other than pride, which we're losing every time we lose. So what are we playing for? Like, you know what I don't understand? I don't understand how people who's bringing the least to the table have the most voice. If you look at all the backlash that's come out from this two-tier system, it's mainly the West Indian greats that's come out and hit out against it. I'm like, bro, we are literally sitting last right now, you know? Like, why do we have the biggest chest? We're last, you know? Like, we're dead last. Like, there's dead last, bro. Why are we talking? Like, literally, not only do you bring the least population in terms of the people who actually watch the sport, like, it's just generally because of our country, but we are literally performing horribly. And I feel like every time we play, they say, "Oh, we disrespect the ICC disrespected, and these big nations disrespect West Indies history." Every time we play, we disrespect West Indies history, bro. Every time we play, forget everybody else, bro. Let's charity starts at home, bro. Every time we play, we disrespect our history, bro. It's not even a joke, bro. Like, we're literally going to play Pakistan in Pakistan. And we are dead last, bro. I think people need to understand. The last time we won a test series was against Zimbabwe in 2020. Was it 2023? Bro.
23, yeah, 2023.
We're talking about when was the last time we won a test series against a full test playing nation? We shouldn't be in tier 2, but we haven't beaten anyone since 2022, probably.
Yeah, I think it was England in 2022. In the summer, and then before then, I think it was Bangladesh in January 2021. So basically, we've won 3 series in 4 years.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. That's what we're actually saying. Like, that's what we're saying. And you guys, you and Santoki have said that we're gonna lose every test series this year. So basically, you might as well just rack a next year on it, bro. Like, literally, might as well just rack a next year on it, bro. But
what are you saying? We're 3 test series wins in 5 years.
Yeah, might as well, bro. Might as well. But I do want to add a bit of positivity in it, because I'm always negative. One thing I will say is I'm actually glad Sammy's coach. You lot did mention, that there isn't much you can measure in terms of winning and losing because of the level of opponents that we're versing and coming up against. What I will say though, there is tangible ways of actually measuring progress for Sammy. So, like for me specifically at home, but when we go to New Zealand as well, I want to see him set the target of the bowlers, take 20 wickets every time you bowl. Do you know what I'm saying? Those are targets that you can actually say, cool. If you're in bowler-friendly conditions, which we should have when we're in the Caribbean and when we go to New Zealand, take 20 wickets. Even if we lose, take 20 wickets. These are tangible things that you can set. All right, cool. We might lose.
What about with the bat, though? What's a
That's
tangible target? Right, okay, go on.
I was going to get to that. In terms of batting, I remember, when Brathwaite first came into the team as a captain, what he spoke about was making sure we bat 100 overs, and he created this identity of what you guys coined as grind ball. He selected players
good point.
that were favoured to grind ball, and Nkrumah Bonner, Tejan Ryan Chandrapur, obviously himself, and remember, I don't know if this is Sri Lankan or Indian coach, I can't remember his name, but he used to stand outside of the
Monty Desai,
Monty Desai. In fact, we might want to investigate this, but what's Brathwaite's average since Monty Desai's left? I think it's been terrible since then.
So Brathwaite in 2024 averaged 21. In 2023, he averaged 35. 2022, 62. 2021, 35.
So I would argue that, I'm not saying it's because of Monty, but there was definitely an ethos and an identity that he tried to play, which was grind ball, which since then he's brought, you've seen the likes of Kirk McKenzie come in, Machel Louis come in, and there's been almost a shift. We're no longer playing this grind ball, or maybe some players try, some players don't. One thing I do want to see in terms of something tangible is Sammy creating an identity of how we bat. That's
what if that identity is to counter it? What if that identity is to attack?
If that identity is to attack, which it has to suit the players that you have, but if your identity is to attack, I do want to see a cohesive unit, because I remember there will be times where after 10 overs, Machel Louis, Tejan Ryan Chandrapur and Brathwaite are like 10 for naught after 10 overs. And then Mackenzie will come in at number 3 and just start yarm licking. Like, I'm like, bro, what? There's no cohesion with the actual team.
Yeah.
I hear you. Like, build an identity within this team. Like McCallum, when McCallum came into the England setup, people were questioning Crawley. He made sure Crawley's going to be my starting opener. He's played pretty much every test series. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is the ethos that I am going to play. And we know Sammy can do it, because let's keep it real. When he took over that ODI side, we were worse than we were in test. I don't even think that was possible, bro. Like, we were terrible. And he's created one, he's got his best players playing. And you also brought up a good point, which was, he's able to get like players like maybe Shea Rutherford to maybe play test cricket. So those are the tangible things of how I hope Sammy can implement still.
Do you know what? You might not get cussed this time, because I think that's fair enough. I think that's fair enough. And the point you've made about Monty, grind ball started under Phil Simmons, and I think the big point you've made there that I think people need to deep is, whatever your philosophy is, you've got to pick players that suit the philosophy.
Facts.
So right now, I don't know what our philosophy is, if I'm honest.
That's why. Exactly.
I don't particularly know, but then also I look at the players and I'm like, you're so inexperienced. You probably don't even know what your game is, much less what the philosophy is. So if at the end of 2025, let's say we get 0-10, let's just say argument's sake, or maybe we might get a 1 draw, so it's 0-9. If at the end of 2025 we're 0-9 or 0-10, but everybody can see what Sammy's trying to do, is that improvement?
I would say yes. Because we're going to lose to these teams anyway. But if we actually have an identity of how we play cricket, because you also have to bear in mind that we don't actually have any targets. Like, every time you go into a test championship cycle, you will have teams like India, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, England. They want to win. With us, it's really about not finishing dead last. So the teams that we are versing, the teams that we are versing, we ain't going to be competing for last place with them anyway, bro. So it's not, at the end of the day, we're at a stage where we can't even talk about winning. Because even if we do win a test match, which you saw in the Bangladesh series, it's almost by accident because you go back to losing ways the next time. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why I say it's more important about creating an identity and philosophy. But, bro, I'm not really trying to take up too much of your time. I know you got enough people to talk to. But in terms of the tier system, bro, regardless of what happens, whether we get put into tier 2 without relegation, just know that it's what we deserve. Do you know what I'm saying? When I mean we deserve, I mean in the sense that the administration and the people who's been on top of West Indies cricket for so long have not prioritized what they needed to prioritize for so long that there is no one else to blame. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like we the ICC have paid us to finish dead last. Do you know what I'm saying? We went and played Bangladesh, yeah. If we beat Bangladesh, at least we could say we're back on, maybe we can debate.
Yeah,
we lost,
we're in a young 7th place or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Literally, bro, we're dead last. So I would bro, it's like if like when you're in your house with your family, your children do not tell you when to pay the bills. They don't tell you when they're having their dinner or what they're doing because you're a little man. So little man yourself and wait until you're big enough to have chest to talk. You know what I'm saying? You got a one bag of uncles, bro. You gotta know your size and know your space. Like you ain't in this conversation, so you're an afterthought. And you're waiting for handouts, and when we're ready to give you, that's when you talk. And for me, there's no point talking about it now. We're about 5 years too late. Some will argue even 10 years too late. This should have been a conversation we're having 10 years ago, not now.
So I'm letting you go, but then because I'm trying to set you up here, I think. So when Clive Lloyd came out last week and said, boy, they're disrespecting, because what about West Indies and it's not easy for us and so on and so forth. Did he have a point?
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. He has a point. And it's not easy for West Indies cricket. But that's been the case for like 20 years now. That's been the case. You can say that's been the years since the beginning, like for so long. My point is now they're actually seeing an effect on the overall world game. At the beginning, it was just a West Indies problem or Bangladesh problem or Sri Lanka problem. Now other than in India, Australia and New Zealand, Australia and England, sorry, we wasn't seeing that problem. They're not seeing, everybody else is seeing the problem we've been seeing for 20 years. So I'm saying you're a little bit too late to be talking, because now it's this virus that you're talking about has infected the world game for years. And there's no point talking about stage 4 cancer when you knew about it at stage 1. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no where you're way too late to the party. And now that the big boys are thinking about how to save their game, why do you expect them to save yours? You should have asked them to save your game when their game were flourishing. Now their game's affected. They definitely ain't caring about you, bro. So why do you expect them to? I don't expect people who put me in this problem to save me from it.
But hold on. So we're finished.
Well, the last time
we're finished, Shane. That's what you're saying. We're finished.
Okay. All right, cool. Give me in your opinion, you're saying, in your opinion, give me a way in which, not the ICC, where we're relying on bigger boards and bigger people, where we can save ourselves. Name me one way in Caribbean, WICB, or Darren Sammy, whatever, Savior, Clive Lloyd, whoever you want to give me how we save ourselves, because we're relying on other people to save us right now.
No, there is a way. There is one way.
Go on.
There is one way that West Indies cricket could save itself, and that is to win cricket matches. Now, let me explain, right? If we started winning matches, because remember, the West Indies brand is still untouchable. The actual performance is useless, right? But the brand is still untouchable. In the same way how New Zealand rugby have a brand that is untouchable, right?
That's a fact.
Brazil football has a brand that is untouchable.
Facts.
Even when they're playing stinky football, they still got a brand that is untouchable. If West Indies started winning, here's an example. If we went 10-0 this year. Beat Pakistan 2-0, beat Australia 3-0, beat India in India, beat it with New Zealand in New Zealand. Watch how world cricket would change immediately like that.
That's a
I mean,
fact.
like, boy, we need West Indies touring us because their
That's a
brand
fact.
is so
That's a fact.
unique that they.
That's
So
a fact.
we can change this, you know. We can change this. As in, but when I say we're not going to make more money from ourselves. I mean, the world game would come running to us.
No, you're 1,000,000% right. But then why wasn't that a solution when Clive Lloyd spoke, or Fazia Mohammed spoke, or anybody else spoke? They spoke about the institution supporting West Indies. They didn't talk about us or saving ourselves, you know. They spoke about the institution supporting saving West Indies. This conversation should have been happening about we need to improve our test squads. We should have been doing that. Now we got the weakest test squad ever. You want us to go and beat India 3-0 or 2-0? You must be on drugs, bro. Come on. You want this test team to go India and win 2-0. Bridget, what? Come on, bro. Whatever you're drinking, send it to me, Bridget, because I don't know what that is. That's what you think. What?
But hold on, no, hold on, nah, allow me, because hold on, this same team went Australia and won a test, you know, so it's possible. It's a freak occurrence, but it is possible. Put it this way, it's possible. Like, we shouldn't be accepting that 0-10 is the norm. It's possible to win a test, you know. It's actually possible.
100%, bro. You're 1,000,000% right. But if you're gonna ask me what I'd bet on, I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't bet on us beating India 2-0 in India. I wouldn't bet on it. Sorry.
So let me just ask you one question then before you go. Pakistan 2 tests, Australia 3 tests, India 2 tests, New Zealand 3 tests. How many are we winning this year?
If I'm being hopeful, I would hope we can get a draw at home against Australia. I'd hope we can get a draw at home. Maybe some rain-affected games, maybe, but I'd hope we can get a draw at home. Maybe if the game goes to Jamaica as well. You know, when there's always games in Jamaica, sometimes it's rain-affected, so we have to pray for the, you know, rain dances and all of that. So I hope we can get a draw at home. Pakistan, they're so bad as well that they may even give us a win. So if there's any game that I think we can actually win a game, I actually think it might be a Pakistan. And I don't know how, because we can't play spin, but that's probably the only way I see a win. India 2-0 3-day test match both times. We're getting lit down, spin down.
I'm saying 2.5 days.
Yeah, you might be right.
2.5 days, both matches against India.
The ambition would be to get India to bat twice. That would be the ambition. Make India bat twice.
Yeah. If they can get India to bat twice, I'm giving them like medals and a parade when they come home.
India bat twice, and then in New Zealand, it's going to be tough because I think New Zealand's also going for a change in terms of a lot of their players, and especially obviously Savi just retired and their bowling lineup is quite strong. But I think it'll be very similar to when we versed South Africa at home, where both teams are just very strong in terms of bowling, but they had one better batsman than us that could make runs, and then we just didn't have anyone who could make runs. So we probably have quite a few low-scoring games there. I expect us to lose 2-0 there. Hope because both teams are so strong in terms of bowling. I don't see how we're going to get a draw because wickets are just going to keep falling. So I'll probably say we might win one game or draw one game this whole entire year. So 1 win, 1 draw is at our very best. Maybe 2 draws is probably the most realistic. You might be able to get a draw in Pakistan if the pitches are roads and then it's just flat.
We'll return to this. Listen, Shane. Shane, I gave Nick's.
Yeah. That's
that one to give. You don't have your own one.
No, I don't have a YouTube channel, but here's the thing: like because obviously I've always done boxing on different platforms. Like even when I was on live today, I was on another platform. But where I do content regularly,
you were on with Rants.
Yeah, I was on with Rants. Literally 5 minutes.
You're outside, you know.
Yeah, I was on 5 minutes before this. I was with Rants. So yeah. I saw your stream. I was like, damn, your stream. Let me jump in this one. But yeah, I was with Rants literally 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. But yeah, so Nick J. Francis is the best way to find me. And on Instagram, I'm Shane, the number 1. That's where you'll find me, bro.
Right, people, you heard what Shane said. I've put the YouTube channel in the app. People, go Respect. Before you go. People, run up the subscriptions, particularly if you're a boxing fan. definitely run up the subscriptions, run up the likes, and follow Shane on Instagram, people.
Love. But
Cool,
yeah,
Shane.
shout you, bro. Love for having me.
Yeah,
bro.
no worries, man. See you soon, yeah?
Therefore.
No problem. Yes, people. Yes, people. Go follow. So Shane was just recording on... I don't know how many people know who I meant when I said Rants. I'm sure you lot must know. Rants, you know, the Man United fan. So I think he has a boxing segment on his channel. So Shane was on that. Shane was on that earlier on. So, or recording something on that earlier on. So I'm sure if you follow Rants, you must probably already see that on your algorithms already. So Shane's outside, people. Shane's outside. Don't get twisted. He's outside on this boxing thing. Right. So going to Josh. Shane should just do his own show, boy. Shane was spitting some serious facts. And bars just there. I don't think the uncles can come for Shane on that one. I find it hard to see what you could argue with his point there. We have put this on ourselves. The thing is, though, Shane did raise one point that, because I knew that it's late in the UK, people. Shane did raise one point that I think is worth discussing, if not today, certainly on another show, which is that, and I saw Neeks make a comment. Let me see if I can find Neeks' comment on it and put it up on the thing. Before I find Neeks' comment, I should put this one up. If we make India back twice, then we're going to bust a wine on the highway. Yes, we will bust wine, yes, if we can make India back twice. But where's a comment from Neeks? Where is it? Yeah, so we were talking about, I think I asked Shane, what does he think the score will be? No, I think I said to Shane, the only way West Indies can help themselves is by winning cricket matches. And then I saw that Neeks put this comment up, that if we won 10, because I said if we won 10-0 this year, as in won every test match we played, world cricket would be flipping kissing our feet, sucking toes and everything if we suddenly won 10-0, right? But Neek says, how do we win 10-0 without the outside help? So I guess Neek's point is West Indies can't be good again without outside help. Whereas I guess I'm trying to argue it's on us to become good again. Like, so I guess what I'm trying to say here is, are we saying that West Indies cannot produce 11 good players ever again without outside people helping us? Is that where we've now reached in West Indies cricket, that we do not believe that we will ever see 11 generational talents come into the West Indies team again at the same time that can be developed to... We're not... Do you know what? The thing is, Josh, I see you, by the way. You are coming on. It's not hard to win football. Sorry, football. I'm saying football. It's not hard to win sports matches. We're moving like it's absolutely impossible for West Indies to win a match. Like, okay, let me explain something, right, people. When I first started watching Bromley, sorry to use Bromley people, but still thinking, when I first started watching Bromley, they were in the Isthmian Premier League. For those of you who don't understand football, that is so this is the levels of football in England: Premier League, Championship, Division 1, Division 2, National League South, Isthmian Premier League. Bromley were in the 7th tier of football. When I first started watching them as a teenager, they were in the 7th tier of football. 2 years after I started watching them, they got relegated to the 8th tier of football. The 8th tier of football. And the average home attendance was like 250, right? Yesterday, I went to watch them play Newcastle United in the FA Cup, and we took 3,500 fans to Newcastle United, right? Bromley are now in League 2 in the 4th tier of football, right? And we're 10th in League 2. That's in a 20-year period. We've gone from the 8th tier of football to the 4th tier of football. We didn't, like, I guess the point I'm making is you can't just rely on outsiders to come and save you. Like, you mean to tell me that of the conglomeration of all of the Caribbean nations, all of them, Jamaica with 3 million people, Trinidad with 1.5, whatever Trinidad has, that's already 4.5. Now add in all the smaller ones, Barbados 800,000, and then all the other small ones, right? So we're getting close. Let's say the number of the Caribbean is something like 7 million, maybe 6.5, whatever it might be, right? You mean to tell me we can't find 11 man out of 7 million? We can't find 11 man to ever be good again. 11. I'm only asking for 11 man to be good, you know. Just 11 man. In fact, not even 11. Only 6 of them have to be good. The other 5 can just be average. We can't find 6 man out of 7 million people. I know, like, people then say, but Mash, Bangladesh can't even find 2 man. So they got a bigger population than us. But we can't find 11 men. I refuse to accept that you have to have outside help to find 11 men. No, I can't. I don't know. Anyways, let's move. Josh. Yes, Josh, how you doing?
We say we can't find 11 man.
Can't find 11. We can't find 11.
Much less one.
11. We found. So Jaden Seals is 1. We found Jaden Seals. So that's
All
1.
right,
That's
all
1. We've got
right, so
1.
now we just need 5 more man. We just need
That's
5
what
more.
we found
We
Jaden.
need
We got
5 more of
1
them.
man. We got 1 man. So Jaden Seals, we can tick. We got a 1 man. If we might even count Shamar Joseph. That's 2. So we must.
All right, so we need 4 more man. We need 4. We're down to 4 now. How can we find people? I'm sending out a manhunt. Everybody
4
around the Caribbean, go and find 4 man. Like
4 man out of 7
I
million.
want to hold a ball in their hand. That's all we need. Just 4. 1 can we can keep, 1 can catch, 1 can board, and 1 can back. That's all we need.
Right. Anyways, Josh, how you doing?
Yeah, Mash. How are you doing, by the way? You good?
I'm good.
Love that. So you asked Shane a very interesting question about Clive Lloyd when he came out and he made his statement on Sportsman. I believe it was Sportsman. Might be wrong with that. But he came out and made a statement, right? My thing is, Mr. Clive Lloyd, you were once the director of selection for cricket in West Indies. And I believe, if I have it right, you were a part of, I don't know if I'm right, you can correct me here, Mash, but I think he was a board member for Guyana, either president or something of the sort. So, Mr. Lloyd, you had a chance to make a change, and you didn't make the change. So why are you coming out and complaining? Because you had it in your hands. You had it in your hands, and you didn't make the change. And you went into Cricket West Indies with your nationalistic way of thinking, and you tried to push out all the Guyanese. I'm not disrespecting the Guyanese, but you can't come out and say, oh, it's hard for us and all of that. You were in the position of power to make a change, and you didn't make a change. So back to Mash point earlier in the show, these old men think they have the power. It is done. You had a chance. You never made it. You never made a move. You didn't do nothing.
Go on. So sorry. I was just going to say.
Yeah.
I was going to say that with someone like Clive, though, this is why I talked about the colonial thing. In that, I just wonder, and I'm not even criticizing. I just wonder if, because they've grown up in a different era, are they subconsciously? I don't know how conscious they are of it. How are they subconsciously believing that they should be helped by the? I don't want to use this phrase, but it's the only thing I can think to use. That, well, almost, just I guess almost with a kind of subconscious colonial mindset of the first world should help the third world, rather than.
No, because he wasn't. No, what much he was in that same West Indies team that went around and beat up every man with no help.
So
they
why
ran
is
up around the world and beat up every man. And this is the problem, Mash. Because they once upon a time did it, they have this privileged way of thinking, we did it, you can do it now. Go on, go do it. It's a privileged way of thinking. It's a dunce way of thinking. Hold on there, Mash. Yes? You can stand
Hold on. wait. What? Yes. Young Ute, how you doing?
Say hi.
Hey, Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Yes. What's your name?
Say, what's your name?
Mm-mm.
If you're not going to talk, I'm going to put you outside. Come.
Big up the next generation. Hey, is that the man? Is that the next man for my team? we found the next man for the team, generational talent.
Oh God! Well,
Hey, listen, no other channel can get this, No.
Yes, that's the next generation, people. That's the next generation. Don't worry. I'll make sure he doesn't watch West just to save his soul. I promise you, he won't have my troubles.
I don't even know what the point was now.
All right, take a deep breath, people. Jesus Christ. Yes, so I was saying, Clive Lloyd and them have a privileged way of thinking because they said they did it without help. And so they're thinking we can do it. But the reality is you now need to help guide the young youth and facilitate the way, which you never did. You came in and say, oh, these men can't do this and these men don't know how. So what's the point then? If you're going to be a part of the division, how can we unite? How?
But so Clive. So a lot of the people, what's interesting is a lot of the people who have come out in public and said, we don't want this two, like we're talking West Indies here, who've come out and said we don't want a two-tier system. It's this, it's that. No, what's interesting, this is again for me, this is a shift that needs to be made in our consumption of cricket. No one young has been interviewed, or no one. They haven't even asked. Like I know Nikhil's out in South Africa. They didn't even ask Nikhil for his opinion. I don't know if Nikhil would give his opinion. But the reason why I'm making this point isn't to say that we must listen to the youth, but I think there needs to be a dose of reality, right? And I just don't know how many of the older generation. So in the case of older generation here, I'm going to say 60 and above. I don't know how many of the older generation fully understand that the younger generation, and for younger, I'm going to say 30 and under.
So you're talking about me, yes.
Yeah, right. But okay, so anyone 30 and under has basically never seen us win much, right? So there's a big disconnect between an older generation saying, "No, this is disrespectful. You can't be talking about tier 2 cricket," and not understanding that the younger generation only know us as a tier 2 team.
You want to know how bad it is, Mash? One of my highlights for West Indies growing up. You remember that time when Machel the ball hit the 4 and then the 6 to win the series against Sri Lanka?
I remember that.
Best moment. Yeah. And that's one of my best moments, and we're just really down bad.
I remember that. I think it was off Chaminda Vass or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Final over.
So what's the answer, Josh? Let's fast forward. What's the answer?
Pray and hope that God can sprinkle some holy water on us and see how wish for all the best. I'm serious.
I know you are.
I'm serious because all right, at the board level, it looks. I put it this way: we can't talk because now here locally and regionally, we're talking about dividing of West Indies, Guyana, and Barbados, and Jamaica going on like they're the Dundadas of West Indian cricket. So at the board level, we're disjointed, and then at the cricket level, we can't even put much less. I don't even know if we can put 50 overs in a test match together so far. And And even in 50 overs, we can't even put 40 overs together in a test match, in an ODI game. So, listen, guys, I don't want to think that I'm just trying to put negativity out there, but it's the truth. Remember, Machel and I were on the live. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this: would you sacrifice test matches against India in order to see us win matches against Afghanistan?
100%. I want to feel like we can do something. I'm at the point, Mash. There's a reason why I weren't posting on my social media pages after that down bad T20 series, even though it was T20. I got kicked right into some social depression, right? Because
West
Indies
had you down bad.
Down bad. I didn't even bother to go to a few parties over the Christmas. I was just down and out. Only thing I had was my birthday, and it was just
look what West Indies have done to Josh, man.
How long do I put up with this? What more can I give? You know? And I feel it for Abidjan Atishay, sorry, when he does the fan cave, what's the point of having that in Jamaica and basically losing 3 days? But the 3 days, something like that. You get my point.
Yeah.
So what's the point of even him? So he now is trying to bring cricket, bring it alive here in Jamaica, and then that's what we produce. How do you expect people to love cricket again? If you're gonna do something like that doesn't make any sense. So can I hope that we can win a game?
But then that means it's coming down to player performance.
A lot of it is.
But then that goes back to my point that the easiest way out of this is for the players to
try
there's
and
a
win.
reason, right? There's a reason why. Okay, this is going to sound like a weird argument I'm going to make here, but when we had the T20 World Cup last year, obviously there's no such thing as a Test World Cup. But if there was a Test World Cup or an equivalent, do you think that Trinidad or the Trinis would have packed out Brian Lara for a match against New Zealand? Obviously, it doesn't make sense how I'm explaining it, but the answer is no. The reason why the Trinis packed out the stadium for West Indies versus New Zealand is because they believed that West Indies stand a chance of winning. I still maintain that the easiest way to shift mindsets is to produce a side that I know T20 is a more accessible version of the game. I know it's a shorter version of the game, but people come out to watch matches where they believe their team has a chance of winning.
They will not turn up.
Listen, do you remember? I don't know. You would have been. I don't know how old you are, Josh, but you would have been.
I'm 28.
Right. Okay, so you would have been a young youth, but you may remember it still. When Jerome Taylor, remember when we played England in Sabina? You've probably seen the highlights.
I remember. I was at the game. I was
right,
there.
And Jerome Taylor ripped out Kevin Peterson's middle stump. I think we bowled England out for 51.
51, right? Yep.
Right. Sabina was packed that day. That was only 15 years ago.
Exactly.
So this notion to me when people say, "Oh, but nobody wants to watch Test cricket." 15 years ago, grounds were still packed.
Yes.
So it's not. You have to produce a team that people think are gonna win. Generally speaking, in the Caribbean, you and I both know this as Jamaicans. As a people in the Caribbean, I'm gonna speak for the whole region, but I don't know if it's the same in every region, in every island,
country,
nation. We're bandwagonists.
Yep.
Right. We're bandwagonists, and we certainly in Jamaica. If Reggae Boys look like they're going to make World Cup, we are bandwagonists. We will jump on the hype. National Stadium will be packed. We'll be screaming World Cup. But if it looks like Reggae Boys aren't making the World Cup, no one's going National Stadium.
There's more chance of people going by a bar and sit over them bridges, much less stay out of yard. You see, as the Caribbean people, all we like is to hype and show off that we the best. And if we can't do it, we'll not show up for you.
Yeah.
So to your point, much we need to win, but come on, you and I know very well right now. Do we have a team that can win? Come on, let's do this right. Let's do this right. You know what I mean? I don't want to take up your whole show. We basically have done that already. But the point is this, right? We're gonna have to try and hope, but good luck to the team this year. I mean, hopefully we can win 10 games. You know, that would be great.
Listen, I'll take
start.
one. I'll take one. Shay made a point that we could get a draw in Pakistan. I'm not.
I
wouldn't be surprised. I'm not confident of it, but because Pakistan are down horrible, I wouldn't be surprised if Pakistan collapsed and gave us a win.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think we might win one. I think we win one against Pakistan, and funny, you know, I actually think we might win one against New Zealand.
Boy, well,
I'm
definitely not buying that one. I'm not sure about that one. Let's wait. Let's wait till the end of the year before we have that argument.
Yeah, but yeah, man, Machel, you take care. Stay good, right, and everyone stay good, man. Stay blessed, everybody.
Cool,
take care.
Cool. Take care, Josh. Later. Right, how many people are there? Sean Paul. Sean, this is obviously going to be Bigfoot. Bigfoot, are you actually ready? Because if not, I'm going to Jacob. Because Bigfoot messaged me and said, keep Josh on the show. I'm not ready. Bigfoot's called himself Sean Paul today. Bigfoot, if you are actually ready, you need to put. Okay, right, Jacob. It looks like Bigfoot is ready still. What's the time? 10 to midnight. Come on, people. Now I got working 6 hours. Hold on, people. I've got to get 1 second, people. 1 second. 1 second. Let me just do a little. Right. Okay. Let's bring on Sean Paul. Shonda Paul and Blue Cantrell. How you doing?
Shonda Paul and Deville. Wagwan, Max.
Are you in a well today, or are you actually in a room?
I'm in a room, but it's a bit noisy in the background, but I'll try to make it clear and precise today.
Okay.
So, Happy New Year to you and the entire podcast family.
Yes. Pick up yourself. Happy New Year.
May 2025 bring us a little bit more joy and success than failures like previous years.
Mm-hmm.
As it relates to the tier system, I don't really care about it. But still, if you're going to do that and only have 3 big teams playing by themselves, why not split that money and give all the other small islands something? I say, you guys come together, you guys have a league, and then based on that league, how you guys perform, you have the promotion or relegation after comes into talk. Let's say the top 3 teams will go into the next test cycle or whatever you want to call it then with Australia, India, and England and play and try to get Test cricket back to where it was with the Test Championship cycle. That's number one.
Hold on. I missed that point properly there. So are you saying that everyone outside of the top 3 should play each other? Is that what you're saying?
Okay, put it this way. You have Australia, India, and England have them playing, right?
Yeah.
They get more money than everybody else. So if they're only playing the 3 of them, they don't need all that money no more.
Yeah.
Take, say, 40% from them and give it to the other nations, let them develop more and get better. If you see what I'm coming from.
Okay. So are you in favor of us sacrificing playing games against the top tier sides, or whoever that may be?
Well, I don't care about India. India can go, but I still want us to play England and Australia. I still want us to play England and Australia.
If there is going to be a tier system, why would Australia want to play us?
Because Sima Joseph humbled them last year. They want to get revenge.
Okay, but then, so Australia get their 3 test matches this summer. Now, let's say Australia win that 3-0. Why would Australia ever want to play us again if a tier system came in?
They're not going to get 3-0. I'm confident that they're not going to get the 3-0. They might get us 2-1 or 2-0, but hopefully we can give them something to say. Okay, we see Western is improving. Let's go back there again next year.
Okay.
But as far as giving up 2 or 3 big teams just to play versus Ireland, Afghanistan, Zimbabwe, and win. No, it's not challenging. It's not appetizing. There's no point.
Wait, hold on. When you say it's not challenging, what do you mean?
Okay. If you're playing against teams that are smaller than you, there's not going to be really that much of competition, unless you're going to be outside in their condition where it's spinning heavily.
So you think that would we beat Ireland in Ireland?
I think we can beat Ireland easily. Right? Easily.
Okay. Would we beat Afghanistan in India?
If we play Afghanistan in UAE, Indian Swan, it might be challenging, but I still think we can beat them.
Would we beat Bangladesh in Bangladesh?
Yeah, we did it already, so we can do it again.
Yeah, but they've just come to the Caribbean and drawn with us.
Matt, that collapse from the button was just horrible.
Yeah, but you said it's not challenging. But Bangladesh just challenged us.
Listen, they didn't challenge us. Our batters just drain faded.
Wait, what? But they won.
Wait, listen to this. You have us at what? 86 or so for what? 3 or 4, if I'm right. And you go on to the slump and bend over for everybody else with in less than 100 runs to win.
So just to clarify, playing Zimbabwe, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and Ireland is not a challenge for the West Indies.
Put it this way: Afghanistan is probably the best out of the lot.
And you think we would beat them?
Yeah. In West Indies condition, we'll beat them.
Okay. What about Sri Lanka?
Nah. Sri Lanka.
Okay.
I think Sri Lanka will beat us.
What about Pakistan?
Well, we play them now, so we will see. I think we can beat them 1-1.
You know the teams that I'm mentioning, right? They're all the tier 2 sides. So I guess let me put it like this for you. Let's just say they did tier 2. And let's just say, argument's sake, they did promotion and relegation. And let's just say it was only 1 up, 1 down. Would you trust West Indies to be the best team in tier 2?
Here's the money, go get it.
I think we'll be among the best 3 in tier 2.
No. Would we be the best team in tier 2? Would we get promoted from a tier 2?
Yeah, take this, go get your haircut. Go get your haircut.
Okay, I give us about 70% chance of being promoted. If we can beat Sri Lanka and Bangladesh and Pakistan, we probably will go through.
Yeah, but that's a lot of teams to beat, you know. We haven't beaten Sri Lanka, I think, since I think we beat them 2008, something like that. We've never won a test match in Sri Lanka.
Nah.
No, not now. We've never won a test match in Sri Lanka.
I said no, as in nah. We never.
Yeah, exactly. So what?
Listen. I tell you, the only team that I think is going to beat us in the tier teams is probably Sri Lanka to get promoted. If we beat Sri Lanka, we're gone.
So basically, if I'm understanding Bigfoot, you're basically saying that West Indies should be in tier 1.
That I cope with, try to understand.
So, what I'm trying to say is, you cannot have a tier with just 3 teams.
Yeah.
If you notice, I think you or Santoki sent a picture in the Caribbean Cricket Podcast on IG and had 2 groups.
Yeah.
And had a proper layout. Maybe one day you can do a video on that.
Yeah.
But I was saying, to make it more interesting, you have 12 teams that play Test cricket that can, right?
Yeah.
Sets up 6 and 6. Each team play.
I agree.
18 games.
But who's in the top 6?
The top 6 teams?
Yeah.
England, India, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and probably Pakistan.
Right, exactly. So,
but what I did was I separated them, and I have it like 3 of them on each side with 3 of the lesser teams. So what we do is team play probably 18 games in a year and a half. After that, the top 2 teams from each group go on to play like a semi-final thing, and then the World Test
Okay.
Championship.
So you're not splitting it between 2 tiers, as in the best and then the rubbish one.
No.
You're putting 3 rubbish with 3 good.
Yeah.
But then, why?
Okay, put it this way: if you have all the weak teams playing together, it makes no sense, and then everybody's going to be rubbish. If you have somebody like a
but that's because we are rubbish.
Okay, put it this way, Marsh. South Africa beat India and knocked them out of the World Test Championship final, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be South Africa versus Australia.
Yeah.
If South Africa can go on and beat Australia and become World Test champions, what does that say for the lesser teams? Wouldn't that make us look better and say we can aspire to something better?
Okay, I hear that. Do you know what? But do you consider South Africa a lesser team?
Compared to England, Australia, and India, they see everybody else as lesser teams.
Okay, but then who compare us to South Africa now?
I think we can challenge South Africa, but only thing is, the batting is going to be the problem. If you see, pound for pound, our bowling is the same as South Africa.
Okay, yeah, and I accept that, but the World Test Championship can't be done on bowling. So, World Test Championship can't be done on what you're bringing to the party.
So this is where Sammy comes in now. After Pakistan, it's all Sammy from there. How we do is going to be bonus.
Listen, do you know what you've raised some points. You've raised some points that are worth thinking about. But I'm mindful. Listen, Bigfoot, I'm mindful that it's gone midnight, and I want to get these last 3 people in.
So my last 2 points. I'll move on for the
wait. Last 2 points? Nah. Hold on.
Okay. One more. It's short. As Josh said, right? We got to find 6 people, 6 good players. We say we have Jaden Sears and we have Shamar Joseph, right? I'm going to give you 2 names to add to those 2. Kevin Wickham and Joel Andrew.
To be in the team right now, or just in the future?
In the future. The 4 to add to the 6. Yeah.
Yeah, Jewel, I'll accept. A lot of people are calling Kevin Wickham's name. I think my caveat for Kevin Wickham is obviously he's done some stuff at the regional level. I think he's averaging 40 at the moment, and he seems to have the tools. The natural thing for Kevin Wickham is I don't want them. So Kevin Wickham, the problem for Kevin Wickham here, and this I'm speaking directly to the West Indies think tank, you've already made the mistake with Machel Louis, right? Where you've called him into the team off the back of a good first-class season before he's even played any 18 cricket. Kevin Wickham, I want to see him in an 8. We have South Africa A coming to the Caribbean. Kevin Wickham should play in that 18 series before we all jump to the conclusion of, let's just put him in the test side because he's done well in domestic cricket. Like, we need to stop rushing the players in.
Yeah, that's where I agree as well. But since we talk about 18, one more player came into mind. Everybody was saying that he could have been into the team already, Kevlan Anderson.
Same thing, 18 cricket. Remember, he was supposed to go to South Africa before that Australia series and his visa or something. So I'd want to see him in 18 cricket as well before I ever rush him through.
Okay. Thank you very much. And now for the test team, last point.
Oh my God.
Does the Silver play, yes or no?
Who?
The Silver.
Yes, because he's got the gloves.
Okay.
If they were intending somebody else to keep the gloves or to play as, like in the tour match, Josh played as the wicketkeeper. If they were seriously considering somebody else to play, that person would be wicketkeeping in the tour match.
All right. So this is my 11 going into the match.
Yeah.
Craig Brathwaite, Machel Louis, the openers. I have Justin Graves coming up at 3 because he back to 3 in leewards. Sometimes he goes 3 and 4.
Okay.
Then I have Alex Atenes, Kevin Hodge, Amir Jangu. Because they say the Silver is going to play. he comes in, and I'm going to use Sinclair, Morty, Watch, and Sears. I was thinking about leaving out the Silver and playing the 3 spinners and the 2 seamers.
So you
I'd have Amir Angle Wicketkeeper.
Yeah, okay. If they weren't considering Josh to wicket keep, if he hadn't had the gloves, I'd hear your point. But yeah, Josh is playing, so and I don't envisage them not playing Warwican. I just don't see how Warwican doesn't play. So, but I hear you all the same.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
No problem. Take care. Yeah. Right, people. What time is it? Oh my god. Cricket Forum's gonna mash me up. Do you know what? I didn't even press on this video. I didn't fill in everything. So, fam, let me just quickly fill this in before I go to Jacob. You're up next. Save this 1 second. Just got to make some alterations. Let's see now. Let's see, Josh. Not Josh. Jacob. I'm coming. I'm just sorting something out. How many likes have there been, people? I can't even check myself. Like the video, share, subscribe, all of that. How many likes is it, people? How many likes are on? I know we're not on any subscribers. You lot done me dirty. I think we've gone up. Have we even had one subscriber in this live today? You lot done. Must be the same people, you know. Nah, Nick said 52, you know. It could never be 52 likes, you know. All this talking, and only 52 likes. Oh my gosh. Like the video, share, subscribe. All of that. Right, let's go. Jacob.
Hi, Matt.
Yes, Jacob, how you doing?
Good, doing well. So I want to let me start again. My piece is about Josh Da Silva. I like Josh. I really like Josh, so this pains me to say. I'm also not calling him for him to be dropped necessarily. I just want to point out something I found looking back at his stats that really alarms me. And it starts like this. Often in the Discord, I hear people defending Josh, saying that, well, he's batting at 7 or 8 with the West Indies tail, and that's going to be one of the hardest jobs in the team. Yeah. I agree. That's a horrendous job to have. I pity the guy at a certain point.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, hold on. When has he ever actually been dismissed after Alzari Joseph? When? I can't remember this. So I go back to so I look at every inning he's played, and every innings he's played since the Australia series, and it's alarming, actually. The stats are, in every innings he's played, he's been dismissed before Alzari Joseph 14 times, not out twice, and after once.
Okay.
Which is, that's pretty bad. I don't have much more to say other than that, but it just really weakens that argument. It doesn't take it away, because you still have a lot of pressure when you're batting with those chuckleheads at the other end. But that's pretty alarming. I feel like I don't know if it's he's not handling the pressure with batting with the tail very well, if he's just not very good. I mean, none of them are very good, so it's that. But is there anything else going on? I don't really know.
That's a good stat, but to make that stat better for me, I need another thing added in, which means you got some work to do. What was the score when he came in? And let me tell you why I think that's a key stat.
Low.
Because more than likely, I'd love to know of all of those numbers. I think in total you said 17. So dismissed 14 times before Alzari.
Yeah,
can't remember what the two was. 2 not out and 1 after Alzari. Right, fine. I would love to know what was the score with 6 wickets down.
I should have recorded that.
To the crease. No, but the only reason I'm saying it is because if he's getting dismissed before Alzari and the score's already like 150 for 6 or 125 for 6, I hear the criticism, and I think the criticism is valid. But then, what did everybody else do?
Exactly. That's the thing. Like,
I mean, so my issue with Josh, because I've actually had people on like the Facebook group come to me before and say, "Oh, but Josh, it's not like Josh is not out." And I kept saying to them, "What's Josh being not out at the end of the innings got to do with anything? Because how many runs are you feasibly expecting him to add with the tail?" Again, the point is valid. The point is valid. So, yeah, but you're getting out before the tail. But if the top 6 have already failed to do their job, which I think is what happens 85% of the time when Josh comes in, what are we expecting him to do that the top 6 couldn't do?
And that's the thing with West Indies batting at the moment, is it's just so bad that I'm like, okay, these stats, this is atrocious, but like, who's gonna replace him? I mean, Django's doing well, but is he as good a gloveman? I don't think so. Maybe he could surprise me, but I don't think he's as good with the gloves. And everybody else is batting so poorly. You can just just slot Django in. Will it really make a difference if he plays as a batter or plays in Josh's place? Like, the batting is so, when doing well is averaging 30, it's like your whole. It just feels like you're in Zeno's paradox, where every step you take, you're still you're closer, but you're also further away at the same time. It's like, what are you gonna do? I don't even know, man.
Right. So, and that's a really good point that you've raised there. If the best batter, take Jason Holder out of it, if the best batter in our top 6 this year was averaging 28, we can't be looking at the wicketkeeper at number 7 and saying, but what did you do? Because the best batter in the side didn't do anything either. So people always think I'm defending Josh, but for me, it's relative. If no one's good, how can we single out the wicketkeeper? So like, what I would say, though, to come off the back of your point, is that I don't think Josh should be batting 7. I think Josh should actually be batting in the top 6. And a couple man could be moved down instead to have because Josh doesn't have the ability, or I've never thought that Josh has the game to accelerate with the tail. And because of the way the West Indies are, ideally you want your wicketkeeper at number 7 to be able to counter attack.
That's the thing.
But
yeah,
Josh doesn't have that game. Josh has the game of somebody who should be batting in the top 6, not trying to marshal the tail.
He's like a perfect number 5, not number 5. He's a perfect, like, almost number 4 batter to me. And that he gets strike he does lots of strike rotation, things like that. He doesn't have a massive attacking game. But he I think he's decent against spin at times. Things like that, but he's not someone who can bat with the tail. He's doing a thankless job, and like, but who in this current West Indies batting lineup can attack pretty well?
So
not many people.
What I would do, so at the moment you've got Justin Gray's batting at 6, Josh at 7. I don't even know. I actually don't even know. The other stat you should look at actually is when Josh is batting. So it's not just what is Josh doing when he's batting with the tail. I think you also need to pull the numbers for how does Josh bat with the number 6. Do you see what I mean? So
he's often getting out before them too. I didn't
but how many
that,
runs?
Often,
when I say how's he batted, I mean I want like it's a deeper analysis of how many runs have been put on. So for example, I think back to England, and some of our best partnerships in England was actually Holder and Josh trying to stabilize the innings. So what I'm saying is Josh can be useless with the tail, but he may play a better supporting act with the number 6. I don't know. I don't know.
Like,
I don't know
I'm not
what the
trying
numbers
to
are.
Cuss Josh out.
Like no, it's not about cussing. I'm just intrigued what the numbers are.
I'm not even saying getting out of the team, because I think he's probably one of the more naturally talented batters in the region. I think there needs to be some sort of middle ground. Move him up the order and try and find someone who can bat more aggressively lower down. But who's gonna do that? Who can? I don't know.
Well, this is the point. So you raise a point. So West Indian has put Josh is a wicketkeeper batsman. West Indies pay him to bat. Stop looking at what others are doing. But West Indian, that comment doesn't make any sense, because if my point is, if you're going to cuss Josh, which can be valid, you've got to cuss everybody else. Like, everyone's paid to be a batter in the top 7. So what do you mean stop looking at what others are doing? Because you can't distinguish then. That if we are basing it purely on what are the batters doing, then every single person in the top 7 can be dropped, because the best person's averaging 28 or 29.
Can they be dropped when the next best person might average 24? Like,
right, exactly. Well, in reality, no, they can't be dropped. Honestly, but my point is, it's futile, because everybody could be dropped.
Like I said, it's this game feels like Zeno's paradox. It's like you're never getting to the finish line. The one thing that I thought this is a terrible idea. I'm going to say this. Back when Mayers used to be a regular in the team, I always thought I would think sometimes swap Mayers and Josh. Mayers is a much more attacking batter who can, give a gutsy 32, 32 off 26 every now and again, while Josh bats with the other batters, the more classical batters, I guess. Like, I think someone like Josh and Greaves would be more natural pairing, for example, than Josh and Buddy. I'm sorry, Joseph.
Listen. Here's what's clear. Here is what's clear. Irrespective of where people's opinions are, I think I did a video on it last week or something. The reality of the situation is this: if Josh doesn't score runs in Pakistan, his place is under serious threat. Everybody surely can agree on that, right? Yeah. However, I think if you are a West Indian proper fan of cricket, when or if Josh, so say let's just say Josh doesn't score runs in Pakistan. Let's say when Sammy takes over, he moves on past Josh and says to Josh, you need to go back into regional cricket, make some runs. Cool. There is nobody in the region who's going to come in and make runs. No. My thing is this: I don't care. I don't care if Josh is taken out of the side. I don't care if any of them are taken out of the side. As long as we all understand that the current ceiling at this moment is praying that someone can average 31.
I think
so.
Yeah, I think Josh really needs some pressure off of him. I feel like the pressure is also kind of getting to him to a good degree.
Probably
because his position is always such a natural. Like, he has the most thankless job in the world, batting at 7 or 8, even 8 sometimes. He gets so much criticism, and I'm thinking, like, the guy needs the pressure off. Maybe I'm not saying drop him. I don't think dropping is the way, but have him lead an A-team tour.
He's done that already.
Yeah, do that again. I know he's led an A-team tour. Have him lead an A-team tour. See if he can play franchise cricket somewhere, even though the down bad horrendous leagues. But just get him facing bad on ball, but where nobody's paying attention to him. I don't know what the solution is. I like him. I want him in the team. I think I also think he's one of those guys that people in the team like. People want him around. It feels like there's a reason it feels like they're grooming him to be the next captain. But at a certain point, just having him continuously bat at 7 and fail and get out before Alzari Joseph is best for nobody, including himself. Bat him higher. Just I think he needs something else. It's not fair to him.
Well, we shall see. We'll see what happens. For those of you who, and I think that's I think Jacob has made a good point here, people. For those who love their numbers, Osprey's in the chat, so he's somebody. Like I say, I think the key stat I need next now is what has been, for anyone who's prepared to put in that level of work, what has been the score when Josh comes to the crease every time he comes to bat. Because my argument will remain, if the score is anything under 150 or even 160, what are we realistically expecting him to do?
Yeah.
But I don't know. The stats may not support that. I don't know what the stats are. I think it would be a very good stat to look at. I mean, I know it's going to be low because last year I pulled a stat I'd have to go and find the tweet. But I pulled it. I did some crunching last year, and I swear the number I pulled was that West Indies in 2024 had scored under 250 more than 60% of the time. So just with that raw number, assuming that's what my number was, if West Indies scored under 250 more than 60% of the time last year, I think we've got a bigger problem than Josh Da Silva.
Yeah. And if I can make a final point, he does seem to keep getting out the same way. Like, he seems to be getting out LBW very similar ways. And I wonder, again, if he can find somewhere else to play for a while, have him work on his game without the pressure, because whatever he's doing, whatever situation he's in, he's just not able to work that out currently. I feel he has the talent to over most batters. I think not most batters. I think a lot of batters like him, they'll have one way to get out for a long time. They switch something up, then they get another way out to get. Then there's another way. They fix that. Then they have another problem they have to fix. It's a repeating thing. But he is getting out LBW so often, and I wonder if maybe he could play first-class cricket somewhere else. I don't know. He's not good enough to get a county deal, but maybe he could try looking somewhere else, or even just looking to play league cricket in England or Australia, somewhere like that. Just get away for a while. I think might help him.
No worries. Listen, I'm going to move to the next caller, but thank you, Jacob, for coming on.
Problem.
Much appreciated. Thank you for waiting around as well.
It was a pleasure.
No worries. So, people, I just as Jacob was finishing, I just went and quickly looked, because in my head, I was like, what does Josh even average? Because I can't remember. So, Josh is currently averaging 25. What is a West Indies wicketkeeper supposed to average? Out of interest. Again, that's not me running interference. I just want to know, what is a West Indies wicketkeeper? Notice I said West Indies wicketkeeper. So none of you come with some Rishabh Pant average. Like, what is a West Indies wicketkeeper supposed to average? Ramdim played about 1 million test matches and he only averaged 25. So what is a West Indies wicketkeeper supposed to average? West Indies have never had a wicketkeeper average over 30 other than Dujon. So what is a West Indies wicketkeeper supposed to average? Ridley Jacobs averaged 28, and that was in a team that had like Lara, Hooper. I don't know if Hooper played with Ridley actually. That was a team with Lara, Sarwan, Gale, that actually had batters, Sam Wells, that had people who could actually bat, and Ridley averaged about 28, I think. So what is a West Indies wicketkeeper bat supposed to average? And when you've decided what they're supposed to average, who in the region can average that? You lot are saying 30. Our actual batters can't even average 30. So this is what I'm talking about. This is why discussing things in West Indies cricket don't make no sense. Because you lot are asking for something that none of our actual batters are doing. 30? No one in the top 7 averages 30 except Craig Brathwaite. So it can't be 30. Man said 30, you know. 30. These times we're praying for people to hit 25 in a test match, and you want someone to flipping average 30. 30. We need about 4 batters who can average 30. Full stop. 30, you know. This is why more time I can't bother to talk about West Indies cricket. There was a point here that I should raise though. So Charlie said, all that can be true. I'm not sure what the true part he's referring to. But he's receiving valid criticism for his subpar. But yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Josh is receiving valid criticism. I agree. And I'm saying that if he doesn't improve in Pakistan, he should be dropped, or he should be close to being dropped. But I just don't think. For me, I view it differently. It's not. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be criticized. I'm just saying that no one's good. I think that's more so my point. No one is doing. Sorry, that's harsh. It's not that no one's good. No one is performing to a level that is acceptable. I mean, and in terms of who could wicket keep, I mean, Django doesn't wicket keep in for Trinidad. He only does it if Josh isn't about. Imlach would be the obvious option. Imlach would be the next obvious option. So it would be Imlach. If you're talking about who would replace him, Shea Hope did some wicket keeping for Yorkshire a couple of seasons back, I think. I don't get the impression that Shea Hope wants to stand up in the hot sun and wicket keep, so I'm not including Hope. Hope himself only averages 25. So, do you know what I mean? Anyways, let's just try and wrap this up. Trini Werewolf's next. Yeah, Mr. Werewolf, how you doing?
I'm good, Mash. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. This show's gone on for 2 hours, you know.
Yeah, I'll keep it short. I just wanted to jump back in on that cussing out franchise leagues talk from earlier.
Yeah.
I found it very... What's that?
I say go for it.
Oh, I wrote this up in the Discord a while ago, but I found it very interesting that Abu Dhabi Knight Riders drafted Ghazan for one of Afghanistan's spinners. And then the day before the league, Mumbai posts that he's in their camp. But no announcement or anything.
That he wasn't in the camp?
But that he was part of Mumbai now. Part of Mumbai Emirates.
With no explanation?
Nope. They just said he just had a post saying welcome home. And I'm just like, did he get traded for somebody, or were they just give him the player?
Do you know what though? It's because like it's almost become a joke in the last 2 to 3 months. It's almost become a joke where like every not every day, but certainly it feels like every week or so something is coming to light in one of these leagues where you're like, are they really getting away with this? And it's almost like everyone's just accepted that, oh well, like it's almost like an in joke that, well, no one can stop this, so everyone's just doing what they want. Yeah,
I think what made it worse was that I don't even think Flow Sports, any local channel, aired Abu Dhabi T10. So I think that there's a lot less providers airing this, so I think they're getting away with it more easily now.
Yeah, that's my issue with that's my issue with the Dream 11 T10 stuff. Like, no one's watching it apart from fan code people. There's no eyes on it really, so anything could go on, right?
Yeah, but this also isn't the first time it happened. Last year, Knight Riders just traded a keel for nothing. They just gave him to Mumbai Emirates, and this year they did the same thing. So I find it very suspicious that a team that has a lot of Knight Riders is giving players to the global Mumbai team who are part of the original Mumbai Indians team. I'm not saying certain players are using their relationships with other players or coaches to do this stuff, but I just find it very weird that sometimes it's going unannounced. Like, even Cricinfo had listed that Mumbai had Trivane Rutherford, even though he was retained by our next team. But I think that was just a typo. I mean, they meant to say Romario Shepherd.
Yeah. I mean, I often have T20 fans come into the comments and say that you're not supposed to be the audience anyways, because every league has its own audience. So Big Bash has its Australian audience, Bangladesh has Bangladesh, CPL has the Caribbean. So cussing about these leagues is almost irrelevant, because like when CPL comes round, I can cuss and cuss and cuss and cuss. But when CPL comes round, the Trinis and the Guyanese are going to get up and jump up and down and do their thing, because the rivalry ensures that they will. But it's almost like I feel like every time I bring up match fixing or spot fixing or anything around T20s, it feels like at the moment that I'm speaking to like an empty void. But I think that the turning point, I think, will come when a major player is found. At the moment, when it comes to like spot fixing stuff, like every 6 months or so, you'll see like the ICC will say, "Oh, we've banned a couple UAE man." They never ever ban like a big person. And you mean to tell me that it's only batters from the UAE who are getting involved with this? Or like in the West Indies, you mean to tell me it's only Devon Thomas? Like, does that even make sense?
But the weird thing is, they listed that Devon Thomas only played one game.
Yeah.
So man was fixing, but only played for one game. But that probably tells you how much people are fixing, and they're just on the bench.
Yeah, exactly,
Mm.
exactly. So I'm not trying to. I don't have like a narrative that I'm trying to stick to here to make people hate T20 cricket. It's not even about that. If people want to watch it, watch it. My narrative, if I have got a narrative, is just that trying to say to people, don't you see what's happening? Like, can't you see? That's more my point. Can't you see what's happening? It's right in front of your eyes. So yeah. But you know, if maybe people are just making so much money from betting they don't care.
Yeah, I mean, you could bring up. It's also like even the local players. You have to have two in the team, but they have some that have played 2 matches, then bat, then bowl. They're fielding. But I feel like the main point I want to go towards is this going to be if players are just being swapped from teams here and there just because of connections. It is going to be the start of if like all the IPL teams take over franchises everywhere. Are they just going to take groups of players and just swap them between teams without going straight to a draft? Like, say, for example, if let's say Mumbai buys the Talawas team, could they just up and say, oh, because Puran plays for most of the Mumbai teams, he just has to play for them?
Well, if I'm honest with you, I would rather that. Like, at least if Puran was playing for one franchise for the whole year, at least I'd get the purpose of what's going on. Like, I almost feel like cricket needs to fast forward to that point. I don't know how you'd make the rule, but I almost feel like the rule needs to be. I guess the only way you get to that rule is the IPL has to basically eat the rest of cricket. But the rule should be that you sign for one club. Like that just has to be the rule. Puran, just to use Puran because you mentioned his name, how am I supposed to get behind Puran playing for 17 different clubs in a year that have no connection to one another? Like, at least if he's playing for Mumbai, I can say he is a Mumbai player and he just goes to all the countries under that banner. That at least just makes sense.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on right now makes little to no sense to me. Like, maybe because I've grown up on a football tradition, so this just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't know. It
is kind of weird because sometimes you're just like, oh, you've seen the exact same players over and over. And if someone's not playing in one league, it's because they're playing in another league at the exact same time. I guess the only downside would be is like that if they just take players away from their home franchise. I just call a fuss about it.
I mean, let's wait and see who, not this year, but next year, which IPL franchise buys Jamaica.
Yeah.
And then let's see what synergy there is between that franchise and Jamaica in terms of the rest of the world. They're saying it's going to be the Delhi Capitals or Jamaica Capitals, whatever. But let's see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, the last point is. Graham Smith was talking about how the SA20 seems better than ILT20 because they're now developing players. I don't think it'll ever reach that point. But do you think at some point they might consider if they want to really make CPL the biggest party in sport, then they might make it more overseas players and just have 1 or 2 local players
for CPL?
Yeah. If ILT20 is bringing in all that money doing that, and even Canada's GT20 is doing it.
The question for CPL is, do they think this will always be the big question for me for CPL, and it's probably for me it's why St. Kitts have always struggled. If you don't have an identity, like Guyana know that the core of their team will always be Guyanese. Well, always has been. The litmus test for me would be this: if the majority of the Guyanese players stopped playing for Guyana, would the Guyanese public care as much about Amazon Warriors? Similarly for Trinidad, if Trinidad didn't have an established core, so Trinidad and Guyana are the most popular teams in CPL. Even Barbados has a Bayesian core. If those 3 teams, Barbados Royals, Knight Riders and Amazon Warriors suddenly allowed their core to actually go to other teams, or they lost their core, would fans still jump up and down?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but that's the litmus test for me. Trinidad are due to lose Pollard soon enough, right?
Yeah.
Which will, and the Rhyme. So
and Russell.
I think and Russell. So I think I've said this before, right? At some point, Trinidad is going to end up with a CPL team, which is basically Nicholas Puran and Akil Hussain.
Yeah.
And no real other Trini people. At which point, I want to know if people are still identifying with TKR as a Trinidad team. I don't know though. We'll see.
Yeah, that's a big talk for next day.
For sure.
All right, Machel, I think it's bedtime for both of us.
Yeah. I've got one more caller.
Oh,
it's Ian,
okay.
And then that's me done.
Okay then. Take care.
Take care. Yeah, no problem. Hey, Ian, I just did a big yawn, Ian. Right. Let's say got one more caller, which is Ian. 1 second, Ian. Just need to do something. Right. If I turn that thing off, 1 sec. Okay. Right. Last caller. Oh, Ian. I wonder if Ian's even still there. Actually, let's see. What the?
Happy New Year.
Ian.
Happy New Year.
You might need to turn your mic off.
Well, I have it on here. You shut it off?
Hold on. Let me shut mine off.
Hello?
Hold on. Let me shut mine off 1 second.
Hello. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Right,
I have
Ian,
my
listen
mic on here.
Right, Ian, listen carefully. Hold on.
You hear me?
Hold on. Right, Ian, I have put you on mute, right? There's going to be, I think because you're talking into your laptop, it's probably coming across with my voice at the same time. So I've muted you. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to talk, and then every time you talk, I'm going to put myself on mute. And then every time basically I'll mute you so that because people are hearing me echo through your laptop, if that makes sense. So I'm going to unmute you in a second, but then I'm going to mute myself so that you can talk. Okay, so 1 sec. Right, so Ian, go for it.
Hello? I still see like I don't know if anybody hearing me. Right.
Right, Ian, Ian, you've muted yourself, you know. Yeah, you have to unmute yourself.
Hello. If you're not hearing me, I don't know what to say. Because I have the mic on here and I don't know. Are you hearing me?
Ian, I'm hearing you talk.
Hello? Ian, I'm hearing you talk. Right, beautiful. Happy New Year, my friends. I wait long. I miss my karaoke tonight to be on this show. You know, you made a great point about West Indies and De Silva. You know, what I've noticed is De Silva average around 25, and I know he's not batting well. We know that. But you don't go to a doctor with a heart problem, and the doctor decides to take off your appendix. Nobody, and this is why I have to say it's insularity. Nobody from all the islands in seeing the other players not performing. How come it's only the trainee? It's only Joshua not performing? Is nobody else performing? Accolades, Atenes, who Desmond Haynes say, I'm not picking Bravo because I'm trying to go with Atenes. Failing. Everybody failing. All of a sudden, it's the trainee. And when you want to drop the trainee, bring in a next trainee. In other words, we must only have a limited amount of players in West Indies. That is how I feel it. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of them failing. And not one of the callers can ask to drop none of the top 6. It's only Joshua they want to drop. How come they don't want to drop the top 6 who failing miserably? I want you to answer me that, so I will keep quiet for now.
Okay, hold on. Right, yeah, so Ian, do you know what? So Charlie and Neeks, I don't know if Neeks is still with us, but Charlie and Neeks made a point though. So I'm gonna give a point to critique Josh first, right? Which is that in the last, so in 20, this is Josh's averages since he debuted, right? So in 2020, he played 1 match, scored a 50, averaged 30. In 2021, he played 10 matches and averaged 24, 250s. In 2022, he played 7 matches. That must be that England series in that one. Scored a century and averaged 34. That was his high point. 2023, he played 6 matches and averaged 20. And 2024, he played 9 matches and averaged 22 with 250s, 1 in Australia and 1 in England, I presume. So Josh currently, after 33 test matches, has 105 50s at an average of 25. I think, Ian, before I come back to you, with those numbers, you can understand why people will say over the last 2 years that Josh has fallen off. And I think that's fair enough. The numbers suggest so, which would mean that over the last 15 test matches, he must be averaging something in the region of about 21, 22, which isn't good enough for a player of his stature. However, where I agree with you, Ian, is that he's the number 7 and none of the top 6 are even doing significantly better than him. So what I would always say is if people are certain that Josh needs to go, then technically the whole team can go with him, is effectively what my argument would be. I'm going to unmute you again, Ian, and I'm going to mute myself. Back to you. In fact, you have to unmute yourself.
Yes. So I agree. My thing is this. Why ask yourself, and this is my problem, people feel I am biased, but think about it as a trainee. You have 6 batsmen from other countries failing, and everybody want a ball, drop Joshua. They don't want to drop none of them players. So why? 126 for 6 every minute, 150 for 6, 130 for 6. Joshua comes in. All right, he fails. I am not saying he's doing as well as he should. But you have to fix the front, have to fix before you harass on the back. You can't do troubleshooting. I used to do electronics and engineering and thing. You've got to fix the obvious thing that causing the power supply. If you have a plug and they're not getting any current, you can't go down to further down and say, well, the problem is really the transistor. No, you got to deal with the plug. Our top batsmen are failing. And the average, look at the average the guy put there. Those are the averages of the wicket keepers when West Indies was good. 26, 28, 29, 27. Don't get me wrong. I feel Joshua should be doing better. But I am saying not a hand on Joshua until you touch them in the front. Because anytime you do that, you're showing that there's always a Trinidadian and you have to cut. Right? We always have to be perfect. Yes, we have seals. We have seals now. Just the other day, I hear people call it a drop seals from the one-day match because he gets some wood, because he now adjusting to playing one. You hear how quick they want to drop seals? They didn't even give him a breather. Seals, a guy at 22 years old. Drop the trainee. Seals now start playing white ball cricket and everybody want to drop him because he gets some wood in some 2020 and 50 over. Over to you.
You have to mute yourself for a sec. Right, there you go. So Ian, this is quite interesting. So obviously there's going to be a lot of people saying, I know that there'll be people listen to this guy, nah, Ian's just defending the Trinis. But Neeks has put here the averages in the last 24 months, which I think is quite significant, and it actually supports Ian's point. Craig has averaged 26 in the last 24 months. Louis 24, Carty 22, obviously small sample size. Hodge 28, Athanaze 27, Holder 30, De Silva 21, Graves 30, but 4 matches. Sinclair 23, 2 matches. So Ian's point, to defend Ian's point is Josh in and of himself, that needs to improve. But Ian's point is if nobody is putting up the runs in front of him on a consistent basis, why would you go to the wicketkeeper first to fix the issues before you look at the top 6? Now, I'm actually going to support Ian on this point in so much as, let's just say argument's sake, that of that top 7, Josh is the first to hold the drop. Let's just say he's the first to go. You'd still have a wicketkeeper coming in with the average West Indian score being 150 for 6. And who else I'm not saying Josh keeps his place, by the way. I'm just saying which wicketkeeper bat in the region is going to be able to do anything with that being the scenario they're walking into. Ian, before I come back to you, I just want to address another point I've seen. So Jay has put Josh can't keep. So I noticed this narrative sneaking in the last year where people are saying, oh, but Josh drops too many catches. So there was a test match. I think there was 2 test matches in the last year where Josh dropped some catches. And I deliberately didn't wade into that argument about Josh dropping catches because in my head, I was like, I swear in the last year and a half, though, Josh equaled the world record for most catches in a test match. So this is why you have to be very careful of people with their narratives in cricket. Did Josh drop some catches recently in some matches? Yes. Has he taken some blinders recently in matches? Yes. Is he the best wicketkeeper in the region? No, Jamal Hamilton is. But outside of Jamal Hamilton, are there significantly better wicket keepers than him? No. So I just think personally, I think people are obfuscating the point here. I think they're using the drop catches to justify why they don't want him in the team, when I don't think the drops play that enough. They don't play enough of a role, because when he equaled the world record for catches in a match, what were people saying then? Crickets. So you have to be careful of narrative here. Ian, I'm coming back to you.
Yes, correct. And I like fairness. I see Joshua put on some ridiculously amazing catches. Nobody blessing him. Nobody bigging him up. When he broke the record, most amount of catches, nobody bigs him up. Right? We live in this Caribbean where all we want to do is attack each other as soon as, oh, is that trainee? So let me look to see any error he make. And so if Django get picked now and Django make a duck and he come and he make about 4 runs, drop Django before he even get good pick yet, you know. Because we live, and in this Caribbean, and that's what destroying our cricket. We have no unity. We have no unity in this Caribbean, right? It's always this one don't like this one, and this one don't like that one, and drop this one and drop that one, but I am saying it as it is, because in the test team we just have 2 Trinidadians and Seals, and we have that boy, and we have a few knocking the door, and I good with that. But I have a problem when somebody want to come now and find a reason to drop the other trainee because he ain't performing when he catching some remarkable catches, and he is not batting good, but the others failing. Des Haynes did not pick Bravo because he said he going with Athanaze. What has Athanaze done? Could somebody tell me there? Has Athanaze set the world on fire? What has Athanaze done for West Indies? He's failing miserably. I disappointed he failing because I find he looks good. My batsman too is McCarthy. I like McCarthy. But them guys had to start batting and stop the foolishness and stop telling me about Joshua. I don't want to hear about Joshua. Them fellas have to start pulling their weight, and we in the Caribbean people have to encourage them to do the right thing by criticizing them and telling them, come on, pull your weight. Forget Joshua exists. Because until them fellas start to score 50s and centuries, Joshua don't even have to make a run. That is my point.
I mean, Yeah, I don't know if I can subscribe to that, Ian. At the end of the day, though, what I would say, and I think this is the final thing I'll say, and then I'll let you wrap it in, is that if Josh doesn't make runs in Pakistan, I would understand if he was removed from the side to go back into regional cricket, just because at that point, Ian, it would have been what's that? It would have been 19 test matches without significant, consistent performance. And I would understand if Sammy moved on. So to be fair, my thing is very simple. I want all of them to do well. I hope Josh makes some runs. I hope lots of them make some runs. What I would say is if Josh makes a couple 50s in Pakistan, I don't want to hear anything from anybody about drop Josh De Silva, because that would make no sense to me. Okay, I don't know if he's going to, but if he makes a couple 50s, or even if he gets one big score of consequence. Now remember, a big score of consequence in West Indies means something over like 65 runs, right? If he makes one big score of consequence, he probably stays in the side as well. So, but we have to wait and see. We wish them all well. We hope that all of them leave with some score of consequence. But we shall see. Listen, Ian, I'm going to give you the final word, and I'm going to close the show off.
You're right. Thank you. So I would say in closing, because I had some more things to discuss about West Indies cricket. Not another time. Joshua I believe he would make a decent score, but then what people would say is every time he and the verge are getting dropped, he make runs, so he's selfish. You're going to hear that. In other words, no matter what you do, heads you lose, tails you lose. If he makes runs now, they're going to say they should still drop him because he could have done that before and he only selfish and doing it to save his place. I remember when Joshua batted, and he was batting at the end with a tail ender, batting slow. And you will hear people say, oh, Joshua batting too slow. And that was one of the matches we end up winning. But if you hear criticism while he was holding up the team, stretching it right down to the end of the match so that we could win the match. That was one of the matches when Joshua batted that we win. And he was being criticized that he batting too slow by one of the people right here, the guy from Guyana, one of them, I can't remember his name. So I don't know the insularity, but coming back to one more thing before I close, and I'm not going to ask the necessary response to it. But if you check it out, when West Indies used to play cricket, county cricket in England, we were better. But they decided to ban us. So they destroyed our cricket. And our best players no longer play cricket because it's all about money. If the Caribbean decide to put real money behind cricket and get men like Puran and all these fellows who play in 2020 to come and play test cricket, we beat real sides. Our best cricketers are not playing on the test side. So I will end it with that. Okay then.
You might have to mute yourself. Oh, there you are. Yeah. Thank you for that, Ian. Much appreciated. I'm fairly certain people watching this live or on the replay will have plenty to say about what Ian said there. If you've watched it live, I mean, I'm sure you've got involved. This must be one of the longest call-in shows of all time, people. We've just gone past the 2.5 hour mark. I don't know how I've kept my voice going through all of it. But Ian, thank you very much for coming on the show. Much appreciated. Everybody else who's been in the live, like, share, subscribe. I'm just going to like, share, subscribe, people. On the way out, we've got some stuff. I can't even talk right now. My voice is dry right now. Ian's accent sounded like Fireball's accent. I wonder if they're from Fireball. Was that your burner? Was that your Trini burner? I want to know. It sounded from a similar part of Trinidad, you know. But listen, like, share, subscribe, people. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, share, subscribe on the way out. Press the notification button, etc. What's happening this week in terms of content? Avanesh Sitaram, sorry, I might have said the surname wrong there. Sitaram, the West Indies analyst for the men's side, is coming on the show on Wednesday. We're recording something. He's joining us from Pakistan. So if you didn't know about that, we've got a big interview with him looking at analysis, cricket analysis in the Caribbean and West Indies test team, also the West Indies men's side, etc., etc. So he's coming on. I'll look at the Pakistan. I'll look at the Pakistan test lineup, obviously, West Indies Pakistan test lineup as well. And Fazir is supposed to be coming on. We're just trying to lock down the date. To be fair, Fazir gave us dates for this ages ago, and I didn't reply. So it's my fault. It's not even Fazir's fault. It's my fault. Fazir must be wondering what I'm doing. I haven't even gone back to him. I haven't even gone back to Fazir to confirm anything, but I'll get back to Fazir to sort that out. So he'll be coming on the show. He'll be coming on the show soon as well. Cricket Forum has asked me to come on his show because he wants to mash me up. That's scheduled. I think I agreed to go on in 2 weeks. So look out for that. He's gonna mash me up. So look out for that as well. Backward Point podcast, Pakistan podcast, very popular podcast. Recorded something with them today, so that should be going out live tomorrow. So look out for that as well. Discord, you can get in the Discord if you want. Send me an email, DM, etc. Give you the link. You can. My voice is gone. I've been talking for time. You can become a patron. www.patreon.com/Cloud Cricket. Any little bit helps and counts to keeping us on the road. And yeah, people, I'm out. My voice is. I've got nothing left. I've got absolutely nothing left. See you lot soon. Content. Let's go, people. See you soon, people. I'm out.
West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.